You're watching Fox 17 News This Morning, your Code Red station.
Waking up in a Code Red weather alert for later today, this afternoon into tonight. Brand new updates on possible severe weather.
Police say that a man got high, then started to fire shots inside of his home. We're going to tell you what we know about this situation so far.
Tensions rise at the Capitol after a bill allowing teachers and staff to carry guns passes in the Senate. Coming up, I'll have reaction from a parent.
All right, Karen, thank you so much, and thank you for joining us here on Fox 17 News this morning. It is a Wednesday morning, April the 10th, and I'm Justin McFarland. We do begin with our red lights on here this morning. We've gone code red because of some impending storms that could be pushing their way here. Code Red meteorologist Greg Bobus has got the details.
Not much to worry about this morning or early afternoon, but our timeline has shrunk down to where we know 5 p.m. until about 3 to 4 o'clock in the morning overnight. That's our window of opportunity for strong to severe thunderstorms. This is becoming more of a flooding and rain threat. There are some big changes since you went to bed last night. The rainfall amounts, those have not changed at all. 1 to 3 inches of rain possible between now and tomorrow morning at this exact same time. Wind, hail, and tornado threats are still there, but they have all gone down. We've shifted our focus here away from Middle Tennessee just a touch. We are by no means in the clear. A lot of rainfall and absolutely the possibility of severe weather, but now the main bullseye of this system is down to the south of the Alabama state line. So again, timing, 5 p.m. through roughly 3, 4 o'clock with everything moving out by 5 a.m. tomorrow. Lowest tornado threat we could possibly have, but it's there when it's not zero. You got to take it seriously no matter what. Wind threat becomes our third place winner here, with flooding being the one that we have to watch out for most. So let's talk flooding. What are the areas we're going to watch by tomorrow morning? Streets and roads, the typical culprits, the areas that if you've lived here for a while, you know, get the ponding, get the standing water after a very quick, heavy rainfall. Streams, creeks, rivers, not as big of a deal to worry about this time around. Taking a look at how much future rainfall across the board, 1 to 3 inches are possible. The more west we get, the more rain we will have. Next, check your forecast. We'll look at future track. We'll take you into the overnight, and then we'll break down the threats for wind, tornadoes, and hail.
Steer clear traffic for you this morning at 4:02. Take a quick look here at the roads. This is going to be I-24 at Hickory Hollow Parkway. This is over in the Antioch area. Traffic there moving along really nicely so far. The rain that has pushed through from overnight is largely out of the area here. May find a few wet spots here and there, but overall not causing big delays with your traffic. We'll continue to watch things out there on the road for you live and local through 9. Well, new this morning, parents were forced out of the Tennessee Senate chambers. This is as the state lawmakers passed a bill to allow teachers and staff to carry guns in schools. Now, those parents who were pushed out of the particular meeting there, they say they support school resource officers, but are not convinced that this particular plan will help with school safety. Fox 17 News' Karen Aguilar live for us this morning there at the state capitol to tell us about those parents' concerns.
Good morning. After the bill passed, several people, including Covenant School parents, cried, and dozens were escorted out of the state capitol from the gallery of the state Senate chamber. Parents tell Fox 17 News they are frustrated, not just that it passed, but that none of their recommendations made it on the bill. Republican lawmakers explain teachers and staff have to go through 40 hours of training and have a psychological evaluation. They believe the bill would make schools safer, but some lawmakers and parents argue having more guns in schools could escalate situations and put their children in more harm, causing some tension between parents and members of the GOP. Mary Joyce, a Covenant School mother, weighs in.
Especially a teacher with a handgun leaving a classroom full of children to go and protect them from a shooter who most likely has a bigger weapon is irresponsible, to say the least.
The bill is expected to be brought up on the House floor next. Reporting live from the state capitol, Karen Aguilar, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
All right, Karen, thank you so much. 4:04 is the time, and a man faces a long list of charges after Metro Police say he got high on drugs and started to fire a gun inside of his home. Officers say they responded to a home on 23rd Avenue North around 4 o'clock yesterday. That's when they say that Borelli Brown told officers that a person had come into his bedroom, and that's when he started to shoot at him. Police say that Brown's roommate told him that Brown had been smoking drugs all day, then woke up and started shooting. Brown later told police that he had smoked meth as well as heroin and fired 8 to 10 shots. He's now facing a number of charges, including 7 counts of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. Longtime Nashville attorney Bart Durham has passed away. He died yesterday. He practiced personal injury law for nearly 50 years and argued 3 cases before the United States Supreme Court. Durham was later the very first lawyer in Tennessee to advertise on print and on radio and on television. Fox 17 News offers its condolences to the Bart Durham family. Bart Durham was 89 years old. For more information about the visitation and celebration of life for Bart Durham, you can visit our website at fox17.com and just search the name Bart Durham. Well, coming up, police say the man robbed a bank on Nolensville Pike. We're going to tell you how it all went down and where that suspect was last seen. And a judge says that one state must enforce a civil...
Looking into the case again. Fox 17 News alerts, empowers, protects.
4:08 is the time. Welcome back to Fox 17 News this morning. You're taking a live look there over downtown Nashville, Tennessee, where things are a little drippy outside, but nothing like what we're going to see a little bit later. That is when we could get some severe weather moving into our area, especially when it comes to flooding. Greg Bobus will have the details in our Code Red weather alert coming up here in a few minutes. Well, let's talk about Operation Crime and Justice. Metro Police are searching for a man who they say robbed a bank. They say that the robbery happened at the Truist Bank branch over on Nolensville Pike. This happened yesterday. You can see the bank located right here around the corner of Thompson Lane and Nolensville Pike there on the south side of town. Now, police say that a man passed a threatening note, this man right here, to the bank teller. He was last seen running away towards Thompson Lane. Metro Police and the FBI are now investigating this. If you know any information about who this person is, you're asked to contact Crime Stoppers at number 615-742-7463. In just 2 weeks, abortions will be completely outlawed in the state of Arizona, except in cases where the mother's life is at risk. The state Supreme Court just ruled that Arizona can enforce its long dormant law from 1864. Now, the law provides no exemptions for rape or incest. Democrats say this is just the beginning of some type of restructuring when it comes to reproductive rights.
This is the result of Republican political extremists. And we have to break through this. We have to do better. Please come with us. Please help us.
Whether it's banning abortions, making it harder to get contraceptives, or access to IVF, this ban is just the beginning.
Now, even some Republicans in Arizona are skeptical of this near total ban and instead are pushing to reinstate Arizona's 15-week abortion ban, which was signed into law back in 2022 by Republican Governor Doug Ducey. Now, Ducey posted on social media that the ruling was not the outcome he would have wanted. Let's bring it back here to the Mid-State. Trouble could be in store for a bill that would allow the city of Nashville to create an East Bank Development Authority there. Now, Mayor Freddie O'Connell says he wants the board to oversee the development of around 550 acres of land on either side of the brand new Titans Dome Stadium. It would operate just like the Convention Center Authority and could borrow money and take land with eminent domain. Now, 2 Senate sponsors pulled their support from the bill. Votes in the Tennessee House and Senate were deferred yesterday, suggesting it may not happen at all this session because you need state permission to create such a board.
Coming up, we're in a code red weather alert. We are tracking new information you're waking up to. We're watching for severe weather and a flooding potential. We'll also look at what our tornado threat looks like as well.
Steer clear traffic takes us to I-65 at Trinity Lane. We're rolling along so far. We've got your latest drive times coming up in a few. Plus, another Mid-State School Board has now joined the list of groups opposed to Governor Lee's school voucher plan. We're going to tell you what the board says is behind their stance. Plus, the Nashville Predator.
To find out more.
I'm Scott Hardy, and here at Top Class Actions, we help right wrongs.
This is a paid advertisement. This content is not legal advice. It is presented for informational purposes only. Top Class Actions is not a law firm.
.14 is the time. Live look there on Lower Broadway as we are getting prepared for nice steady downpour of rain that's going to push its way in. Greg Bobus will have the details on that and why we've gone code red for your weather alert coming up here in just a few. First, let's take you to Sumner County. That's where the school board has joined several others across the mid-state lining up against a school voucher program. Right now, 3 competing bills are on the table for state lawmakers. The Senate plan would allow students to change districts. Sumner County school board members say that would drive up their costs. Another rough patch is giving families $7,000 in state money if they want to send their children to a private school.
When John Doe leaves Sumner County Schools, he gets $7,000, and then this county's going to get $7,000. I said, is this long term? 1 year. Think this through down the road. You know, this is bankrupt states.
And it seems like the majority of the people in my district want school choice. They want to have a say in where their kids go to school.
Board members also argued that $7,000 wouldn't even cover half of the tuition at most private schools. Request is in the classroom is Fox 17 News' commitment to exposing problems in our school system and finding solutions. If you have a story you think we should be talking about, you can drop us an email to news@fox17.com, or you can call our tip line, leave us a message, 615-266-4149. A big day for hockey fans in Music City as the Nashville Predators are now playoff bound yet again. This is after an overtime loss to the Winnipeg Jets as the Predators did fight back to get to a tie, and they secured that final point that they needed in order to get the first wild card spot in the NHL Western Conference. Fox 17 News photojournalist Kevin Mumphrey live there at Bridgestone Arena that will host yet another round of playoffs. 16th time in the last 20 years that the Nashville Predators have made the playoffs. That is tied for the most in one single NHL period there. So single game tickets will be going on sale coming up here on April 11th. Starts later today. Early access begins later today at 2 p.m. The Predators season ticket holders will get an even earlier chance. Then tickets go on sale for everyone else tomorrow at 10 a.m. So if you've got season tickets, you'll get a shot early. If not, you'll have to wait for tomorrow. We've got links to all this information over on our website at fox17.com. As for the game, last night, the Predators were down 3-2 in the second period. Let's get to Greg. He's got the very latest on your weather forecast out there. And Greg, you're watching the rain push its way into the mid-state here. It's not the rain we saw overnight. That's not the reason why. There's much more coming.
Yeah, I would say 5 p.m. on. Now, we're going to get rain before then, but it's not going to be anything to write home about. We'll get a couple of showers, maybe a rumble of thunder, but 5 p.m. into the overnight through around 3 a.m. That is the big window here. Things have changed since you went to bed. The entire weather world here in Nashville has seen it happen overnight, and now I'm telling you this, more of a flooding threat than anything else. Wind will still be there, but our tornado threat has gone down. Our hail threat has gone down, and this looks to be much less widespread than it could have been, even looking at things 12 hours ago. So a lot of good parts to the forecast, but still, we're not in the clear. Future track 4 o'clock taking us all the way in through this morning and early afternoon. Light to moderate rain. It'll be here in bands. We'll see a little bit of it this morning. Not nearly as expansive as yesterday morning, so not as much coverage on the radar. Afternoon through 2 p.m. still looking to be very hit and miss. Watch what happens when we get to 5. I'm going to stop it. Oh, hello. Really quickly moving in. Yellows, oranges, and reds showing very heavy rainfall. Best flooding threat going to be west and southwest of Nashville. This pulls through during the overnight, 9 p.m. still out toward the Cumberland Plateau. And then by the time we get past midnight into 1 a.m., our severe threat dies down very quickly. And by tomorrow morning, relatively dry to begin the day. So we have that little window of opportunity, dinner time until you wake up. Dinner time through breakfast. Those are the hours to watch. Taking a look at your 7-day forecast. Temperatures don't move all that much here. 74 degrees, 67 on Friday, 78 on Saturday, and 80 on Sunday.
Steer clear traffic for you this morning. Let's get you out and about there to I-65 at Trinity Lane on the north side of town. Traffic there moving along really nicely. No big problems there in either direction on that north side as you make that drive in from Madison and Hendersonville and Goodlettsville, Whites Creek or Jolton. We're looking just fine. Drive time's looking okay as well. Everybody in the greens. We get you rolling 26 minutes in from Mount Juliet, 49 from Murfreesboro, 25 from Franklin. All these times will increase as the morning goes on. U.S. National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan said yesterday that he has now spoken with the Prime Minister of Qatar as negotiations continue for a ceasefire deal and the release of hostages that are being held in Gaza.
He does not yet have an answer from Hamas. I pressed him to try to secure an answer from them as soon as possible, and when we have more to report on that front, we will report it to you.
Again, that's Jake Sullivan speaking there. Now, Sullivan also notes that the CIA director, Bill Burns, was in Egypt over the weekend, meeting with leaders of Israel, Qatar, as well as Egypt there. Qatar and Egypt have been communicating with Hamas, trying to negotiate the release of these hostages. CNN is reporting that the latest proposal involves pushing Israel to release a higher number of Palestinian prisoners in exchange for around 40 Israeli hostages. Meanwhile, back here in Tennessee, a judge has ruled that the Memphis Grizzlies guard John Morant acted in self-defense when he punched a teenager nearly 2 years ago. Now, yesterday, a Shelby County Circuit Court judge filed an order to say that Morant acted in self-defense back in 2022 during a pickup basketball game at his home. Joshua Holloway was 17 years old at the time when he punched John Morant in a heated exchange. Last year, Holloway filed a civil lawsuit against John Morant. So this new ruling means that Holloway will have to prove that Morant should be held civilly liable for anything that happened to him. A trial was originally scheduled for later this month, but is likely going to be moved to a much later date. Well, coming up, a government agency is looking into a whistleblower's complaints that some Boeing planes are built using shortcuts. More on that in a few minutes. And Kentucky men's basketball coach
246 White Bridge Pike in West Nashville. Bid now, online only until Tuesday, April 16th at 11 a.m.
See us on the web at ComusMontgomery.com.
Good morning, time right now, 4:24. Waking up in a code red weather alert. You're going to get a little rain this morning and early afternoon. Don't worry about that. But 5 p.m. on is what we're tracking here when it comes to possible severe weather across Middle Tennessee and Southern Kentucky. We're all in a category 1 out of 5. Things have dropped when it comes to potential for severe weather, but it's still there. Overall, today, 74 degrees. Scattered showers and storms early in the day. Most of our morning and afternoon not quite as rainy as it was yesterday to begin the day. That severe potential does creep in after 5 p.m. and this time around it will last through a good portion of the overnight. Flooding, a big concern here, especially west of I-65 with 1 to 3 inches of rain possible within about a 12-hour period. So what can we do here leading into the weekend? Well, we can gear up for temperatures that are going to be near 80. Once we get through today and tomorrow, we're done with this rainy stretch that we've been stuck in all week long. Much needed break from it. Very warm. Quiet radar. That'll be nice to see nothing on it for a few days. How to be prepared for tonight, though. Reliable weather app, the Fox 17 Code Red weather app. If it's not on your phone, just go to the App Store. Download it here. Make sure that your emergency alerts that are on your phone are turned on. Weather radios if you have them, just in case you're out of cell service. And just stay up to date. Keep watching us online, social media, and right here on Fox 17 News. We'll have you geared up and ready to go for 5 p.m. and beyond going into tonight.
All right, everyone, steer clear traffic. Let's get you to I-24 at Old Hickory Boulevard. This is out there in the Antioch area. As you can see there, traffic moving along without issue, without delay. We're doing just fine out there so far this morning. No major accidents to tell you about that could tie you up on the interstate. Of course, that can change, and it will change. There will be things that happens, and we've got you covered when it does. Steer clear traffic live and local with you through 9 o'clock this morning. The Federal Aviation Administration is now investigating whistleblower complaints on plane design problems and possible company retaliation. Now, we're talking about the FAA. They says they're looking into a whistleblower claim on whether or not the Boeing 777 and 787 Dreamliner jets have manufacturing shortcuts. The claimed flaws included not filling the tiny gaps on the 787s when joining some parts and pressure for engineers to approve work that wasn't inspected. A report says that the whistleblower claims he was ultimately transferred out of the 787 program. Boeing disputes claims about the structural integrity of the 787. The University of Kentucky's basketball program is going into a brand new era. John Calipari confirmed that he is now leaving the team as the head coach. That's according to a video that posted on social media just yesterday. Now, Calipari has led the Wildcats for the last 15 years. That includes winning a national championship back in 2012 and being the runner-up again in 2014. He also took the team to the Final Four on 2 other occasions. He's racked up 410 wins as the Wildcats head coach. So what's next? Well, Calipari says he's got a couple of options that he's discussing with his family. It's largely believed that he'll go over to Arkansas to become their next head coach. In the meantime, Kentucky's athletic director says that he is looking for his successor. But coming up, after country music star Morgan Wallen threw a chair from a rooftop bar, there's an issue of safety in downtown that is back in the spotlight. We're going to tell you what local officials believe should be done.
We all can. Reach out to a friend if you see them going through it. No matter who you are, being vulnerable is what makes us whole. Learn how to help at seizetheawkward.org.
You're watching Fox 17 News This Morning, your Code Red station.
Fox 17 News and the Code Red weather alert. Our radar relatively quiet right now. A few light showers out there later on this afternoon and into the overnight. Severe weather potential ramps up. The latest in your forecast.
A bill that would allow teachers and staff to carry guns at schools has now passed the state Senate. We're going to tell you why some parents feel like it will put their children in even more danger. Steer clear traffic takes us out to I-40 at Dallas and Pike. No slowdowns here near BNA. However, that's not the case everywhere. We're going to tell you where we could have a big problem as far as your traffic is concerned coming up in a few. Thank you for joining us here on Fox 17 News This Morning. I'm Justin McFarland. Just after 4:30 here on this Wednesday morning, we're going to get started because we're in a Code Red weather alert. Gwen Phobus is standing by to tell us why.
And this is that time of the morning here where we get updates overnight while most of us are asleep, and you go, what has changed? What are we waking up to that is different? And some of those indicators are good. We are in Code Red, and this is for 5 p.m. through around 1 a.m. now. There'll be a few lingering storms after that time period, but most of our activity we have to watch out for is then. Any showers or thunderstorms you get before this evening are a non-starter when it comes to any severe weather. Early rainfall could help us. Anytime we get rain earlier in the day, it lowers your threat for severe weather. Yesterday morning, we got indicators all throughout the late morning hours and afternoon that many of us could be in a slight risk for severe weather. When that yellow color pops up, they've dialed it back down. The bullseye is now well down toward the Gulf Coast. We're still in a category 1 out of 5, though, meaning the chance for a few isolated severe storms cannot be ruled out through, again, those late evening and early nighttime hours. Tornado threat, not at 0. We could have 1 or 2 that do spin up on us, but to watch out for it. Wind, though, and flooding. We're getting 1 to 3 inches of rain in about a 12-hour period. There will be ponding tomorrow morning, and there will be a lot to watch. This is a whole lot to look at really early, but just look at the 3 cities and the timelines here. We've got Clarksville. Everything begins to ramp up at 5 o'clock, peaks a little bit later, I'd say about 8, 9 o'clock, and then dies down through the overnight. About a 2-hour gap in when things pick up across all of Middle Tennessee. Nashville's window for our strongest storms right around 9 to 10 o'clock. Out toward the Cumberland Plateau, we would say 11 o'clock through 1 a.m., and then everything else dies down greatly. Coming up the next Check Your Forecast, we'll look at future track. We'll show you how that radar picture looks for later today, and then we'll calm ourselves into the upcoming weekend.
Zero clear traffic for you this morning. Let's get you out and about this crash here. This is going to be I-40 in the Putnam County area. That's where we're dealing with a multi-vehicle crash, according to the Highway Patrol. They say the westbound lanes are closed. Now, what does this mean? This means for those people who are making their way in to the city of Nashville there from the outside, from Putnam County. Let me zoom out here a little bit. So if you're trying to come in, say from Cookeville, here in this area, from Cookeville, and then trying to push your way into Nashville, you're not going to be able to do so right now because of this crash right here near Silver Point. That's where the crash is at this point. And again, they say the interstate is closed. We're reaching out to THP for details. How do you get past this? Right up here. Highway 70 instead. The original I-40, Highway 70 out of Cookeville. You take that and then you meet up possibly around Buffalo Valley a little further down. That's going to be the best way to steer clear and make sure that you can still get to your destinations. Other than that, we are relatively good to go with traffic elsewhere here in the mid-state. We're going to give you the details as soon as we learn more. We're new this morning, parents are forced out of the state Senate chamber at the state capitol as lawmakers pass a bill to allow teachers and staff to carry guns in schools. Now, those parents say they support the school resource officers, but are not convinced that this plan will help with school safety. Fox 17 News' Karen Aguilar live for us this morning at the Capitol to tell us about parents' concerns.
Good morning. It was a Republican-led effort, and Republicans are aiming to make schools safer following the deadly school shooting that happened at Covenant. After the bill passed, however, several people, including Covenant school parents themselves, voiced outrage and vocal opposition to the bill. Dozens of them were escorted out of the state capitol behind me from the Senate chamber. Parents tell Fox 17 News they are frustrated not just that it passed, but none of the recommendations made it on the bill. Tennessee Senate Republicans passed legislation yesterday that would allow public K-12 teachers and school staff to carry concealed handguns at school following that deadly shooting. Senator Paul Bailey, the sponsor, tells Fox 17 News staff would have to go through intense training along with the psychological evaluation. Senator Heidi Campbell argues having more guns in schools could escalate situations and put children in harm. Listen.
This bill is totally permissive. If a school district and a local sheriff's department do not want to implement this policy, they don't have to.
I think it's a travesty. I mean, this is going to make our schools less safe, and we were very clear about that in committee. It was very unfortunate that we kicked a lot of the people there who were there to voice their fear.
The bill is expected to be brought up on the House floor next. Reporting live from the state capitol, Karen Aguilar, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
All right, Karen, thank you so much. At 4:35 in Operation Crime and Justice, Clarksville police are now searching for a suspect after Monday night's deadly shooting. Officers have identified the victims just yesterday as Glenn Nichols and Savannah Lumpkin. We're told that the shooting happened on Martin Street around 6:30 on Monday. Anyone with information is being asked to call the Clarksville Police Department. Well, the issue of safety in downtown Nashville is now back in the spotlight. This is after Metro Police say that the country music singer Morgan Wallen threw a chair off of a six-story rooftop bar there in downtown. Now, it just missed 2 Metro Police officers. Rob Mortensen with the Broadway Entertainment Association is the spokesperson for most of the bar owners in downtown. He says that the city wants to send a strong message that this kind of behavior is not going to be tolerated in Nashville. He's talking with city leaders to look at all the possible options to help improve safety.
We want Nashvillians and our visitors to understand that this behavior that has occurred over the weekend does not represent our city. or our bars or our restaurants or the many thousands of people who visit downtown every weekend.
Well, this is not an isolated event. Metro Police tell us just last week someone threw a beer bottle off of a rooftop bar there in downtown. So we want to know, what do you think about this? Should there be more safety measures on rooftop bars in downtown Nashville and elsewhere? 68% of you say yes. Another 32% of you say no, we're good. So far, 334 people have voted. If you want to join that number, you can scan the QR code right there on the side of the screen. You can also visit us on our X page. You can find us at Fox Nashville. Well, coming up, baseball bats were stolen from a store in Mount Juliet. We're going to tell you about the financial damage and why it's in the thousands of dollars. And a student
in Brentwood at 4:15 on Wednesday.
Providing you the information needed to prepare and stay safe. Fox 17 News, your Code Red station. Alerts, empowers, protects.
Good morning, Tom. Right now it's 4:40. Taking a look here at why we're in Code Red. We're going to throw a couple of maps at you here and make a lot of sense real easy. We're going to talk wind, hail, and flooding here in the next few minutes. Now, this is the wind threat for 5 p.m. going into the overnight tonight. The brown shaded area, which is all of Middle Tennessee and Southern Kentucky, has the smallest threat. It's there for damaging wind. The yellows, reds, and purples, there's your bullseye. Most of our severe weather down toward the Gulf Coast. They're expecting damaging wind, flooding, and multiple tornadoes. Back home, the further away you get from that, the more the threats drop. Taking a look, our hail threat has gone to almost zero. That's good. Now, there could still be 1 or 2 storms that get tall enough where there's a little bit of hail that is out there, but we have dropped that overnight last night into this morning. Taking a look here at our tornado threat, zooming it in back home. Also, lowest tier here, a 2% chance that within any 25-mile area away from any spot. So think Nashville, 25 miles in every direction, 2% chance that anything spins later today. That has gone down overnight. That's very good to see. Risk for flooding, however, that's going to be something that we have to watch and talk about. Flood versus flash flooding. Flooding means ponding on the roads. We get it every morning when we have a lot of rain that happens overnight. Flash flooding is caused by a lot of heavy rainfall over a real short period of time. There could be areas, especially west of I-65, this evening into overnight tonight, that do experience 1 to 3 inches of rainfall within 6 hours. We have to watch for both of these scenarios going into tomorrow morning.
Steer clear traffic out there, so let's get to the very latest happening here on I-24. This is at Harding Place over in the Antioch area, dealing with a bit of a crash there on the shoulder of the road. Actually, can't even see the cars that are involved. We see a couple of Metro Police cars. This makes me think normally what's happened is the cars run off the road and down into an embankment somewhere where we just can't see it, and now they're going to have to wait for a tow truck. But again, can't confirm that, just we do have reports of an accident, haven't seen the cars, so that makes me believe it's off the road or just at least off camera there, that we just can't see them. We'll continue to follow this. It is going to cause minor delays, not big ones though. You should make that drive in from Antioch. You can take Murfreesboro Road to steer clear. Well, let's talk about something happening from the Mount Juliet Police Department. They're trying to identify 2 people who they say stole $6,000 worth of baseball bats from a sporting goods store. Let's take a look at the photo of who police are looking for. They're looking for these 2 folks here that they caught on a security camera. Police say it happened back on March the 14th at the Academy Sports on Pleasant Grove Road in Mount Juliet. They say the duo they're looking for is accused of taking a total of 13 high-dollar baseball bats. If you can help them, please call the Mount Juliet Police Department. 13 bats, $6,000. Wow. All right. A student in Massachusetts is now recovering. This is after a school-owned laptop burned the student. Happened yesterday during a statewide test that was happening there. Look at the char there from that school laptop. School district officials say that the Chrome laptop malfunctioned and started smoking. The laptop burned the student's hands, and the student was taken to the hospital. Now, students and staff were forced to evacuate from the school building. The district said testing for the student in grades 4 through 7 is now on hold as the investigation is ongoing. Well, coming up, there's brand new developments on the Metro School Board plan that is trying to restrict public comments. We've got the very latest on the developments happening.
Can control it. 3-day blinds. Find the light for your life. Visit 3dayblinds.com to get started.
Four 46 is the time. Welcome back to Fox 17 News this morning as you take a live look there over downtown Nashville and at our Doppler radar. You can see some heavy rain is pushed off to the east of Nashville. If you're headed down towards Chattanooga, up towards Knoxville, heavy rain there. For us, the rain is lightened up, but there will be another round coming through. Greg Bobus has got the details on that coming up here in the next few minutes. Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene has renewed her pressure campaign aimed at the House Speaker Mike Johnson. Now, in a letter to GOP colleagues yesterday, she again threatened to act on her motion to vacate Johnson's seat. She warns him not to work with Democrats to pass more Ukrainian aid. The Georgia Republican filed her motion last month after Johnson pushed a spending bill that is trying to use a rule that relied mostly on Democrats to get passage through the House. Johnson has a very tiny majority, meaning that he has very little leverage when it comes to negotiation there to get things passed. An update on the effort to further limit public comments at Metro School Board meetings. Now, last week, we reported that the board was considering requiring speakers to provide written comments 48 hours in advance and only allow comments about things on the agenda. There was also a suggestion to cap comments at 30 minutes. Well, last night, the board backed down on all of those points, voting instead to limit speakers to 2 minutes each with a maximum of 20 speakers per meeting.
To the question of what problem are we solving, I think the main points addressed in here are the initial issue that we knew, which was only speak about things on the agenda. I think there's definitely a feeling that that was not working. And then the potential issue, and an issue we have had, though rare, in the past, of having a very, very lengthy public participation.
Well, for the past 2 years, speakers have been given 3 minutes to make their points. These changes will be effective at the board's next meeting coming up here on April 23rd. It's a big welcome home for the 2024 NCAA men's basketball champions, the UConn Huskies. The University of Connecticut returned to their campus last night to be greeted by a rally of students. The Huskies have now won 6 NCAA tournaments, including their back-to-back wins both this year and last year. So the Husky Nation very happy up there at UConn. Well, 2 people are recovering from a frightening ordeal. This is after a helicopter crashed in Rhode Island. Happened yesterday morning in the southern part of their state. Police say that the pilot and his passenger climbed out of that helicopter after it hit the water. They stayed afloat until a fisherman spotted them. That fisherman then helped to rescue the pair of people there. Authorities say the chopper was testing height sensors above the water for a local company that is trying to create a sea glider. Well, the pilot was not hurt and the passenger was taken to the hospital with just minor injuries. The cause of this crash is still under investigation. It's unclear when workers will be able to get that chopper out of the water. Scary, scary situation. All right, let's talk to Greg. Hopefully we will not have scary situations as far as this code red is concerned, but it is a possibility, Greg. What are we talking about here as far as the threat is concerned?
All types of severe weather are possible, but most of them have gone down overnight. So they're all on the table, but they're not as likely as they were even 7-8 hours ago. Here are the new things here that we're starting off the morning with. Strong storms are possible, mainly 5 p.m. through around 1 o'clock in the morning going into tomorrow morning. So we're talking overnight. 1 to 3 inches of rainfall, that is almost a guarantee for all of us. Heavy rain is going to be there and flooding cannot be ruled out. The wind, hail, and tornado threats have all decreased. That is great news for us here. It is not great if we have friends that live in Alabama, Louisiana, and along the Gulf Shore, because their threat has gone up as ours has gone down. What does it look like back home? Heavy rainfall? Like I said, it's almost likely for all of us to get 1 to 3 inches of rain within a good 6-hour period. So flash flooding can't be ruled out. Localized flooding, it's going to be there in some spots. The areas that are prone to standing water or quickly rising water are going to be the ones we have to watch out for. Severe storms, though, that chance has gone down. When it comes to severe, what I talk about is flooding is not considered a severe weather category. It is only wind, hail, and tornado potential. Taking a look, this is the bullseye here. It's not quite lit up just yet, but we're going to be watching out very carefully along the Gulf Shore. Already a few areas through Louisiana and Texas that have severe thunderstorm warnings for us. Anything you get this morning or early afternoon, don't worry about it. But once we get toward dinner time and beyond, we're going to look at future track and show you in a few minutes. That's the time frame we have to watch out for the heavy rainfall and any possible severe weather.
Steer clear traffic out there for you this morning. Let's get you to the south and east side of town. We've got something happening out there on I-24. This is very close to the Harding Place exit out there. As you can see, traffic is moving along. However, we are dealing with a lane closure out there, and I'm unsure why. Either we've got a crash where the car has left the road, or perhaps some road work is in order. We know that that area there at I-24 is pretty chewed up coming in from Harding Places. Maybe it's just now gotten to a place where they can't take it anymore. Either way it goes, it is going to slow you up a little bit. You want to take Murfreesboro Pike. It's the best way to steer clear. We'll continue to follow the scene and learn more about what's happening out there on I-24. Well, apparently there are still some things out there that can make people put their phone down, including the eclipse. The cloud computing service Cloudflare says that it saw a significant drop in internet traffic during Monday's solar eclipse. It's one of the few things that you can't just watch online. They say one of those biggest drop locations were wherever they had totality. Some places saw online traffic dips of around 40% within states with a path of totality. Even areas that only had partial views still saw people taking breaks from their computers and their phones. Well, coming up, it's a big week for local libraries. We're going to tell you how you can appreciate your particular library and the event that's going on right here in Nashville. And the government is now imposing new limits on forever chemicals in drinking water. We're going to tell you.
With the new Simply Ageless Skin Perfector Essence, where skincare meets makeup, burst and blend for bare skin filter effect. That is all you. The new Skin Perfector Essence from CoverGirl.
4:55 is the time. Welcome back to Fox 17 News this morning. That's a live look there over downtown Nashville. As you can take a look and see, traffic and weather is going to work very closely together today because of the rain that is pushing its way through part of the midstate. Greg Bobus is going to tell you exactly when it's going to arrive in a really impactful way, shall we call it, coming up here in just a few moments. We're new this morning. The Biden administration is now imposing the first ever national limits on what they're calling forever chemicals in drinking water. Let's take you there. Officials say it will reduce exposure for 100 million people and prevent thousands of illnesses, including cancers. Now, the rule is the first national drinking water to have a limit on PFAS, which are the widespread and long-lasting in the environment. Utility groups warn that the rules will cost tens of billions of dollars. Legal challenges to this rule are very likely. Let's get to Greg. He's got a look at your forecast.
That we do. And Justin, as you mentioned, timing is everything. So here is when that big impact moves in. We're starting with future track. Right now, there are a few light rain showers out toward the Cumberland Plateau, and a few isolated showers are going to pop up this morning. But let's focus on when the real activity moves in that we have to be more concerned about. We'll take you through 4 o'clock and through the morning hours. Not nearly as rainy as yesterday morning. There will still be pockets of showers, maybe a quick rumble of thunder this morning and early afternoon. Not much really does happen between now and 3 o'clock. I'm going to move this from 3 o'clock to 5, and you'll see what I mean by things picking up very quickly. 5 to 6 p.m., rain begins to move in very quickly right through the middle of Middle Tennessee. This is going to start around 4 o'clock in our western counties, pick up in Nashville around 5, 6 p.m., pull toward the Cumberland Plateau through 9 and 10 o'clock. We've sped up our timeline since you went to bed. So most of this will be that 3, 4, 5 o'clock to start in our western counties, then pull through Middle Tennessee, all the way out of the plateau by the time we're waking up tomorrow morning. I would say by 1 a.m. we're almost in the clear, waking up tomorrow to a much easier weather pattern. I have changed the possibility of wind, hail, tornado threat, and flooding. All 4 of them have moved around on the scale. We'll take a look at that as soon as we start off our 5 o'clock half hour.
Steer clear traffic for you this morning. We've been checking in on a crash at I-24 at Harding Place. You can see it there for yourself. You can see one of those TDOT workers walking along the road. We are told this is a crash and that they have shut down this lane 4. Unsure exactly how long they're going to be out there. But again, we did not see the cars that they were trying to investigate before they moved the camera. So just know it's going to cost you a lane on I-24 for the foreseeable future here until they get this out of the way. You can use Murfreesboro Road to steer clear. We're also dealing with another crash at I-40 near Putnam County that has gotten I-40 shut down in that location. Coming in from Cookeville, you want to try to use Highway 70 to steer clear in that location. Happening this week, book fans have reasons to celebrate. That's because it is National Library Week. Now, Nashville's public library is inviting you to celebrate with them by reading your favorite books. Also, keep in mind that the Green Hills Library is holding its spring book sale right now through the 14th. The library branch is located at 3701 Benham Avenue there in Green Hills. The sale will offer books for children as well as adults and even CDs and DVDs. Hours of the sale are from 10 a.m. until 7 p.m. and it will end on Sunday with a $5 bag sale that will happen from 2 to 4. All proceeds will benefit the Green Hills Branch Library Community Programs and Services. Well, take a look at this. Some people say they have a place on the water, but this house takes it all the way. On Monday, this 2-story houseboat, complete with a white picket fence, was caught on camera as it was towed through the San Francisco Bay. According to the San Francisco Standard, the dwelling was one of several moved out of Redwood City, California, because of a legal battle. The owner of the houseboat wanted to stay unidentified, but says he wasn't on the boat during the 2-day trek. The U.S. Coast Guard spokesperson says the houseboat is now safely anchored. What a view out there. It looks like something out of a children's book or something. Our 5 o'clock hour starts right now.
You're watching Fox 17 News This Morning, your Code Red station.
Waking up in a code red weather alert for possible severe weather later today. A lot of things have changed overnight into this morning, some for the good, but one of them has gotten a little bit more dicey. We'll break it all down in moments from right now.
And police say a man got high and began firing shots inside his own home. What his roommate says happened.
Tensions rise to the Capitol after a bill allowing teachers and staff to carry guns passes in the Senate. Coming up, I'll have a reaction from a parent.
Let's start, though, by thanking you for joining us here on Fox 17 News this Wednesday morning. I'm Erica Glover. Jennifer Waddell is going to join us later this hour. We're going to begin with our Code Red weather alert. We have the red lights on, and our meteorologist, Greg Bobus, now speeding up the timeline. What do we need to know here, Greg?
Timing has not changed. 5 p.m. through the overnight hours. That's the window of opportunity. However, the chance for severe weather has gone down just a touch, but our chance for flooding and heavy rainfall has gone up. You might think, how does flooding go up but severe weather goes down? Flooding is not a factor when it comes to severe weather alerts that are issued by the National Weather Service. You can get a lot of rain and no warnings to it sometimes. That's why we're breaking this all down for you. Our outlook today, Category 1 out of 5. That has dropped overnight. We have dropped our Category 2 from our southern counties and pushed more of the severe weather down toward the Gulf Coast. And if you've got friends that live in Mississippi, Alabama, Louisiana, check on them later today. But 5 p.m. through 5 a.m., tornado threat has gone close to zero. It's not at it, but it's closer than it was when most of us went to bed last night. Wind threat's still going to be there. A few storms are going to have a pack of a punch here when it comes to isolated wind gusts and flooding. That's the one that we've ramped up a little bit. We're going to take a look at some areas like roads and streets, the ponding we get in mornings. Those are the areas we have to watch as we're waking up tomorrow. Creeks and streams, rivers, isolated areas. We'll talk how much rain we're going to get. We'll look at future track, piece together that 5 p.m. through 1 a.m. timeline coming up in the next check of your forecast. Erica?
Greg, thank you so much. 5:02 is the time, and we do want to do a quick check of your steer clear traffic update. There is some construction, some road work going on. This is a live look. Antioch, I-24 Harding Place. You can see the crews out there, the flashing lights, and then one person walking right there on the shoulder, on the right shoulder over there, and they have this part of the road blocked off with the cones over there. So just be mindful. A little bit of a brake check in this area, but after all, no big issues over there. Again, this is I-24 at Harding Place in Antioch. Well, to kick off your Wednesday morning, we also want to share some of the top headlines that you need to know before walking out the door. We're talking about politics. President Joe Biden and Japan's Prime Minister, they're going to officially sit down for a bilateral summit today. The meeting comes as the two leaders share concerns over Chinese military conduct in the Pacific, as well as opposition to a planned sale of U.S. Steel Company to a Japanese company. We're also talking about the former CFO of the Trump Organization, Alan Weisselberg, who is set to be sentenced today. Well, he pleaded guilty last month to counts of lying under oath during former President Trump's civil fraud trial in New York. He is expected to serve 5 months in prison. And the FAA is investigating new safety allegations involving Boeing Dreamliners. A whistleblower is now speaking out after the FAA announced a probe into some of the company's wide-body planes just yesterday. The whistleblower claims he was ultimately transferred out of the Dreamliner program. Boeing, though, disputing claims about the structural integrity of their 787s. Back here at home, 1 year after the Covenant School shooting in Green Hills, the Tennessee Senate passing a bill that would allow teachers and staff to carry guns on school grounds. Fox 17 News reporter Karen Aguilar joining us live at the Capitol this Wednesday morning. And Karen, you have some perspective from parents who not necessarily agree with this.
Yeah, absolutely. They are frustrated. And after that bill passed, several people, including Covenant School parents, cried. Dozens of them were escorted out of the state capitol behind me from the gallery of the Senate chamber. And they're frustrated not just because it passed, but because none of their recommendations made it on the bill. Republican lawmakers explain teachers and staff have to go through 40 hours of training and have a psychological evaluation, and believe the bill would make schools safer. But some lawmakers and parents, they argue having more guns in schools could escalate situations and put their children in more harm, causing some tensions between parents and members of the GOP. Mary Joyce, a Covenant School mother, weighs in.
Especially a teacher with a handgun leaving a classroom full of children to go and protect them from a shooter who most likely has a bigger weapon is irresponsible, to say the least.
The bill is expected to be brought up on the House floor next. Reporting live from the state capitol, Karen Aguilar, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
Karen, thank you. New this Wednesday morning, a man is facing a long list of charges after Metro Police say he got high and began firing a gun inside of his own home. Well, officers say they responded to a home on 23rd Avenue North around 4 o'clock yesterday morning. We're mapping it out for you right here on your screen. They say Burley Brown told officers that a person had come into his bedroom inside the home and began shooting at him. Well, police then say Brown's roommates told them that Brown was smoking drugs all day and began shooting. Brown later telling police that he smoked meth and heroin and fired 8 to 10 shots. He is now facing a number of charges, including 7 counts of aggravated assaults with a deadly weapon. We have continuing coverage now as longtime Nashville attorney Bart Durham has passed away. It happened Tuesday, according to his family. He practiced personal injury law for nearly 50 years and argued 3 cases before the U.S. Supreme Court. Durham was the first lawyer here in Middle Tennessee to advertise in print, radio, and television. Now, Fox 17 News, we were offering our condolences to the family. Bart Durham was 89 years old. If you would like some more information regarding visitation and the celebration of life services for Bart Durham, you can go to our website, fox17.com, and then search his name. Again, that is Bart Durham. Just ahead here, police say a man robbed a bank on Nolensville Pike. We're going to tell you more about the note that he slipped to the bank teller and the road ahead for creating an East
Code Red weather app.
Welcome back. 5:09 is the time. Fox 17 News, we are in a code red weather alert, giving you a live look at the Nashville skyline. And listen, some of y'all could be waking up to some light showers, but the storm system that we're talking about is set to arrive here in Middle Tennessee, and it does bring a chance of strong to severe storms across the area. What you need to be mindful of is that there are now changes to what you could expect. So Greg Webb is going to share that full forecast, lay out the entire timeline in just a couple of minutes. Right now, though, in Operation Crime and Justice, Metro Police are searching for a man who's suspected of robbing a bank, and police say he robbed the Truist Bank branch after 3 p.m. yesterday. It's over on Nolensville Pike, right near Briley Parkway, so we are mapping it out for you, and we're also going to show you some photos. Well, police say the man passed a threatening note demanding money to a bank teller. Take a look here at your screen. He was last seen running away towards Thompson Lane. Metro Police and the FBI, they're now investigating. They say if you know anything about the robbery or the suspect that's involved, you're asked to call Crime Stoppers. That number is 615-742-7463. Politics now. Trouble could be in store for a bill allowing the city of Nashville to go ahead and create an East Bank Development Authority. We've talked about this in the past. Well, Mayor Freddie O'Connell is now very outspoken. He says he wants the board to oversee development of about 550 acres of land on either side of the new Titan Stadium. He says it would operate much like the Convention Center Authority. It could borrow money and then take land with eminent domain. Two Senate sponsors pulled their support from the bill, though. Votes in the State House and Senate were deferred yesterday, suggesting, well, it just may not happen this session.
Coming up, we are in a code red weather alert, but there are changes to the forecast. Not timing, but what you could expect when it comes to each individual threat. We're going to break it all down for you in just a few minutes.
And Fox 17 News always keeping a very close eye on your steer clear traffic updates, showing you a live look I-24 Harding Place. That's where they're doing some road work, so do be mindful of that over at Antioch. Your full traffic reports, though, in a couple of minutes. Also ahead, another mid-state school board has joined the list of groups opposed to Governor Bill Lee's school voucher program. What the board says is behind their stance. And let's celebrate, Preds fans. Yeah, Nashville hockey.
Stop.
Yeah. 5:14 is the time, and right now we're talking about the code red weather alert, showing you a live look over on Lower Broadway. Listen, we're talking about later afternoon through tonight. I was just talking with Greg, trying to get the specific timeline here, mapping it out for you. He's going to give you all the details, tell you how to plan ahead. And then what about Thursday? Okay, we're going to share it all in just a couple of minutes. Right now, though, let's talk about crisis in the classroom. The Sumner County School Board now joining several others in the mid-state pushing against the school voucher plan. Going to give you the details right now. We do understand that 3 competing bills are on the table for lawmakers. The Senate plan would allow students to change districts. Sumner County board members say that then would drive up their costs, and they're not necessarily on board with that. Another issue they say is giving families $7,000 in state money if they want to send their children to a private school. But listen to this explanation as to why they're not on board with this.
When John Doe leaves Sumner County Schools, he gets $7,000, and then this county's going to get $7,000. I said, is this long term? 1 year. Think this through down the road. You know, this is bankrupt states.
And it seems like the majority of the people in my district want school choice. They want to have a say in where their kids go to school.
Okay, getting some different perspectives there. Board members also argued $7,000 wouldn't even cover half the tuition at most private schools. Making headlines, Arizona's top court ruling to uphold a near total abortion ban enacted over a century ago before its statehood and women's suffrage. But the law is currently on hold for 14 days to go ahead and allow for a lower court to hear remaining arguments. Fox News' Marianne Rafferty has this report.
It is a dark day in Arizona.
Arizona's Supreme Court ruled to revive a 19th century law criminalizing all abortions, except when a mother's life is at stake. The 1864 law, which predates Arizona's statehood, offers no exceptions for rape or incest. Instead, it further restricts reproductive rights in the state, where terminating a pregnancy is already banned at 15 weeks.
Arizona's 2022 abortion ban is extreme, and the near total Civil War era ban that continues to hang over our heads only serves to create more chaos for women and doctors in our state.
Critics say the law also opens the door for the prosecution of doctors who perform the procedure. In their 4-2 decision, justices who are all Republican wrote, physicians are now on notice that all abortions, except those necessary to save a woman's life, are illegal.
I refuse to allow Arizona to become a state where doctors are going to be afraid to practice, to just do their jobs.
As expected, Democrats and the White House are blasting the ruling, blaming former President Trump for the overturning of Roe v. Wade 2 years ago. President Biden writing in a statement, quote, "This ruling is a result of the extreme agenda of Republican elected officials who are committed to ripping away women's freedom. And while some Republicans support it, others disapprove, but ultimately say it's up to Arizonans to fix the issue."
It was an asinine ruling, and I hope that Arizonans will fix it. But right now, the law of the land is that Arizona has to fix it themselves.
The ruling comes just days after former President Trump declined to endorse a national abortion ban and said the issue should be left up to the states. In Los Angeles, Marianne Rafferty, Fox News.
All right, a big day for hockey fans here in Music City. The Nashville Predators are playoff bound once again after an overtime loss to the Winnipeg Jets. I'm going to explain. Fox 17 News photojournalist, though, Kevin Mumphrey is joining us over at Bridgestone Arena, giving us this beautiful live look. Thank you, Kevin. The Preds, though, fought into overtime, getting the last point they needed to lock in their wild card spot. And listen, it's the 16th postseason spot in the last 20 years of Preds hockey. Playoff single-game ticket access is going to begin early. Preds season ticket holders, they get the first chance starting today, this morning, 9 o'clock. And if you go ahead and sign up for the team's newsletter, early access then begins for you at 2 o'clock this afternoon. Then tickets go on sale for the rest of us. Jets did get it into the net in overtime, but Preds ultimately walking away with that playoff spot at the end of the day, and that's really what it's all about. We're going to check in now with our Code Red meteorologist, though, because we do have the red lights on.
We do.
Folks want to plan out the rest of their afternoon into later tonight.
And the timeline for what we talked about yesterday, and I'm talking morning, afternoon, evening yesterday, all of that is the same. 5 p.m. into tonight. However, all of our threats when it comes to severe weather, getting flooding potential, all of these things have changed a little bit. Look down to our south, where it's very active right now. Places like Alabama starting to get some rain moving in. Mississippi, the first tornado warning of the morning here already. Louisiana seeing severe thunderstorm warnings, and now they've actually got a tornado watch. That is where all the emphasis for the best chance for severe weather, that's where it's going to be all day. That's where it's already at. Here's what's changed for us back home. Not the timing. Once we get toward 5 o'clock here on Future Track, I'll tell you what the difference is. This is all morning and early afternoon. Not as rainy as yesterday, not even close. A couple of showers on the radar right now, non-consequential. Even early afternoon. Don't worry about any rain. Here's 3 p.m. Western counties of Middle Tennessee. By 4 o'clock, rain starts to move in. By 6 p.m., this band moves through Nashville. It is narrow. It moves in very quickly. It will bring a punch for some wind and very heavy rainfall. When this moves in, with maybe a 2, 3, 4 hour period for all of us from west to east, we're going to get 1 to 3 inches of rain. Our flooding potential has gone up. Our tornado potential has gone down, and so has damaging wind, and hail threat is almost at 0. This almost becomes a big wind and rain event at this point. 10 p.m., heavy rainfall out toward the Cumberland Plateau, and that will kind of linger in these bands. Through 1 to 2, 1 or 2 of these could end up becoming a severe storm. So what to take out of this? 5 o'clock until 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. That's our window of opportunity. Heavy rainfall for everyone, 1 to 3 inches. Best chance for flooding west of I-65.
All right, everyone, steer clear traffic. We have just picked up a big situation, so let's get to it. The I-24, Harding Place. There's 4 forcing all the traffic off of the interstate here at Harding. The interstate is closed. We are still trying to get the exact details on this. We understand this is going to be I-24 westbound, so this is coming into the city. Yeah, that's not good. I-24 coming into the city. They're forcing all traffic off here at Harding because crash up ahead of it. This is going to leave traffic backed up here for several miles. And forgive us, we're just now learning about this over the last couple of minutes here, and we're trying to get more images on the screen to figure out exactly how bad this truly is. The backup right now is only stretching to 44 miles, which is not, or 44 minutes rather, 44 minutes from Murfreesboro into Nashville. That's not that bad, but we can tell you that this is only going to get worse as the morning goes on. Unsure exactly how bad the crash is in front of it. I know we've been working the crash nearby. This is I-24 at Harding. And they're moving the camera here. I'm very anxious to see, excuse me, where are they moving this camera? Oh boy. All right, so there could be a lot of different things going on here, but let's just reset very quickly. Apologize to my producers. We're following this breaking news here. I-24 at Harding Place, to switch to the other camera, shut down right now into town. They're forcing all traffic off at exit 56. This is right there at the exit for the Sam's or for the South Precinct, if you're familiar with that area there in Antioch. All traffic being forced off there. The other thing they're investigating is exactly what's happening in front of it, and that's where our other camera is trained. This is I-24 at Harding Place here. I knew something was going on when they only had one lane shut down. I thought perhaps maybe the car ran off the road, and I wasn't sure. Now we can see there is no traffic at all up here at all. They've shut it all down completely while they investigate exactly what's happening here. We're going to try to get more details for you. I can tell you right now, everything outside of it, we're going to get a map for you. It's going to be a mess, a real mess. We're going to give you more details as soon as we get them coming up here on Fox 17 News this morning.
Nobody even knew if he was there. Hey, mic check, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Thank you. Okay, cool.
Steer clear traffic, everyone. We are following breaking news coming out of the Antioch area, so let's get you up to date. This is going to be I-24 at Harding Place. They have got the interstate going into Nashville shut down. So listen, everyone coming in from Murfreesboro, Laverne, Smyrna, Antioch, I'm talking to all of you. It's going to have a major impact on your day if you're getting out of the door, say over the next 30 minutes or so. They're forcing all traffic off here at exit 56. That is the exit for the South Precinct, for the Animal Control Shelter, for the Sam's. Warehouse Club. If you're in that particular area and you know where I'm talking, the traffic is getting off there, so it's going to cause major problems for folks in that neighborhood as well. Let's show you why they've shut it down. This is 24 at Harding, where they've got TDOT on the scene. They've got Metro Police there. We still have not seen the car that they're working on. It's been off the road apparently for a little while. There could be damage to the road. I'm unsure exactly what's going on here, but they've got the entire interstate shut down. Before it was just one lane. Let's show you to you here on the map. You can see I-24 right here. The backup is going to stretch back now for several miles. This is Murfreesboro Road. You can take that right up past the airport. By the time you get to Briley Parkway, you can take Briley right on over. You'll be in much better shape. But just keep in mind, you see all this green right here? It's not going to be green for much longer. The yellow and the red is coming, I assure you, to Murfreesboro Pike.
And here we go, coming up in your code red forecast. Not much going on right now, but later today, 5 p.m. through the overnight hours, severe weather outlook has gone down, but flooding potential has gone up. The latest, what you're waking up to.
All right, let's quickly talk about what's going on at the state legislature. Yesterday, lawmakers gathered to talk about open carry. Now, right now, to open carry handguns to the state of Tennessee, but they want to make it all guns. There were quite a few people there in the committee room against that. So as soon as the vote happened, there was a bit of an uproar. Watch this.
All those in favor of sending House Bill 2802 to Criminal Justice full committee, say aye. Aye. Opposed, say no. Bill moves on.
Look, guys, one person.
The roll call, the request for roll call was made by one member. It takes 3. That's the rule. It's been the rule. But you can be recorded as a no. Here's where we're at. You all have interrupted this committee this entire hour and a half. So, and I understand that, but I need you all to refrain from yelling, speaking out of turn, all that. We have more bills on committee, and then we're going to adjourn.
Now, 6, 7, 8 o'clock hours, we're going to hear about the debate that led up to
Today at 4 on Fox 17.
Fox 17 News, your Code Red station. We track severe weather.
Using our Code Red alerts up to 3 days in advance. This low-pressure system looks like it will be arriving in Brentwood at 4:15 on Wednesday.
Providing you the information needed to prepare and stay safe. Fox 17 News, your Code Red station. Alerts, empowers, protects.
This Fox 17 This Morning newscast is sponsored by Electronic Express. We make it happen. You're watching Fox 17 News This Morning, your Code Red station.
We'll be 30 half hour with some breaking news on I-24 at Harding Place. The interstate is shut down right now because of a crash. We're going to give you the details coming up in a few.
And we're in Code Red for weather later today, late this afternoon into tonight. The possibility of severe thunderstorms, the latest you're waking up to.
And at 5:31, right now on Fox 17 News This Morning, Morgan Wallen's arrest has some people asking, is downtown safe? Now listen, there were a lot of people asking that question well before the chair went over chiefs. Nashville leaders responding to that question, though.
In the debate over arming teachers, we were talking about how lawmakers are responding, plus how parents, Covenant School parents, sharing their reaction too. Thank you so much for joining us here on Fox 17 News this Wednesday morning. I'm Erica Glover.
And I'm Jennifer Waddell. We have breaking news and steer clear traffic right now. 2 interstate shutdowns. Let's get to Jessica McFarland for the latest.
All right, first of all, let's talk about that first interstate. That's one that's happening over in Putnam County on I-40 as you leave Cookeville, headed towards Nashville. That interstate is shut down, has been shut down for now a couple of hours. They've got detours set up in that area. So if you know you're leaving Cookeville, headed towards Nashville, heads up in that. It's a little bit off of our traffic maps to show you exactly more details about it. Take Highway 70. That's going to be the best bet to steer clear. Now, the bigger impact that we're talking about here in Nashville is I-24 at Harding Place. This is 24 where thousands of cars make their way into the midstate each and every day. A lot of these folks are going to be forced off, all of them here at exit 56, which is really going to crowd things up and about the Harding Place area around Antioch Pike. In that area, really going to be crowded because of that. It's shut down because of a crash in this area. I-24 Harding Place is about a half a mile in front of where they're forcing all the traffic off. To this very moment, and I've been following this for the last hour, I have not seen the vehicles that are involved in this crash at all. At one point, I was speculating that maybe they left the roadway, and that's why we haven't seen them. But at one point, one lane was shut down. Now all lanes are shut down here at 24 at Harding, and they're going to continue to work on this. Let me show it to you on the map right now. This is going to be I-24 as you make your way in. You can see the backup stretching back for several miles here. Here is Murfreesboro Road, Highway 41. That's going to be your best bet to steer clear of this entirely. So if you're coming in from Nashville Village all the way into town, past the airport, by the time you get to Briley Parkway, that's when you can cut over and use I-24 again. The backup is only going to build more and more because of this. This is I-24 at Bell Road. This is about 3 miles behind the accident. You can see the brake lights already starting. When I get back to this in about 5 minutes, I predict it'll be a parking lot.
And taking a look, not only traffic this morning, then weather later today could get in your way 5 p.m. to 1 a.m. on a code red weather alert for possible severe weather. Heavy rainfall for everyone. 1 to 3 inches of rain during that time span. You're going to get a couple of showers this morning and early afternoon. Don't worry about those. But our wind, hail, and tornado threats have all gone down since last night. The chance for isolated flooding has gone up. Again, 5 p.m. later on this evening through 1 a.m. is the time frame that we're going to watch most carefully for you.
Well, new this morning, parents are forced out of the Tennessee Senate chamber at our Capitol in Nashville as state lawmakers pass a bill that would allow teachers and staff to carry guns in school.
Well, those parents say they support school resource officers but are not convinced this plan will help with school safety. Fox 17 News' Kieran Aguilar is live at the Capitol to explain their case.
It was a Republican-led effort, and Republicans want to make schools safer following the Covenant School shooting. Now, the Senate passed the bill yesterday behind me at the Capitol, but it was met with vocal opposition from community members, including Covenant School parents. They say they are frustrated that none of the recommendations made on the bill. After the commotion, dozens of people were escorted from the gallery of the Senate chamber, as you mentioned. Republicans, however, continue to stand behind the bill. Senator Paul Bailey, the sponsor, tells Fox 17 News staff would have to go through training along with a psychological evaluation. Senator Heidi Campbell argues having more guns in schools could escalate situations and put children in harm.
This bill is totally permissive. If a school district and a local sheriff's department do not want to implement this policy, they don't have to.
I think it's a travesty. I mean, this is going to make our schools less safe, and we were very clear about that in committee. It was very unfortunate that we kicked a lot of the people there who were there to voice their fear.
The bill is expected to be brought
for the people.
Watch Crisis in the Classroom only on Fox 17 News.
This Sunday, it's the Electronic Express famous half price fair. Save up to 50% in every department. The Electronic Express famous half price fair. It's first come, first served. Starts this Sunday, 10 a.m. at Electronic Express.
Get Sylvia's Door Mornings for your area. Download the free Fox 17 Code Red weather app.
We've got a very busy traffic scene, more traffic than I can share with you over the next 90 seconds, but we're going to do the best we can. I want to start here on the north side. At I-65, the I-24 junction, as you drive down from Metro Center towards Trinity Lane, we've got a crash here that's blocking up the entire left-hand side there. So it's going to be a slow go going all the way back towards Rosa Parks. So heads up in that area as you come down from the north side. Now, I want to show you that first because of the severity of the other thing that we need to show you, and that's happening here at I-24 at Harding Place. We've just confirmed from Metro Police, unfortunately, that this crash is fatal. One person has died as a result of that crash that happened earlier this morning, and that's why they have shut down the interstate here at 24 at Harding, forcing all traffic off at exit 56. This is as you make your way into Nashville, coming out of Antioch, Smyrna, Laverne. This will also affect you eventually into Murfreesboro. Here is the scene that police are investigating right now at 24 at Harding. You can see multiple officers on the scene. At one point, it was one lane that was shut down. Now all lanes have been shut. So let me show you on the map what we're talking about. I've had to zoom out to expand the area. Here is where that crash is at 24 near Harding there in Briley Parkway. Watch it spread all the way back down towards Nashville Village. Here is Murfreesboro Road. This is going to be your best way to steer clear. However, all of this yellow and green will turn to more yellow and eventually red as more people get out on the road.
And now we're talking code red weather later on today. A few showers this morning and early afternoon. No consequence for those. 5 p.m. to 1 o'clock in the morning. That is the time frame when we'll have some rain move in from west to east that could cause flooding, isolated damaging wind, and even a small tornado threat. Our threat has gone down since you went to bed, but we still have that category 1 of 5 sitting for us. Tornadoes have gone down. Wind has gone up just a little bit, but our potential for 1 to 3 inches of rainfall will be there coming up at about 5
changes. Taking Ozempic with a sulfonylurea or insulin may increase low blood sugar risk. Side effects like nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea may lead to dehydration, which may worsen kidney problems. Living with type 2 diabetes?
Ask about the power of 3 with Ozempic.
Relax.
Tell them.
Budget Breaks lets you rest, knowing you're paying the lowest price in town for your repairs.
Your words soothe like the summer breeze.
Visit budgetbreaks.com for locations and coupons.
5:44 is the time. Welcome back to Fox 17 News this morning. We are following some breaking traffic news coming on I-24 Harding Place. This is coming in from the Antioch area. I-24 is shut down right now. You cannot get past Harding Place on I-24 because of a crash involving a fatality. Unfortunately, one person has died, according to Metro Police. They're forcing all traffic off here at exit 56. That is the exit you would use to get to the Metro Police South Precinct or the Animal Control Center or perhaps the Sam's Club warehouse there. If you know where those places are, then you understand the area we're talking about. Here is the scene where police are continuing to investigate that fatal crash. Again, we have not seen a vehicle involved yet, but we do know authorities are out there in mass and they've shut down the interstate. At one point, it was just one lane. Now it's all lanes. Let's show you to you here on the backup here. This is going to be I-24 at Bell Road. This is about 3 miles behind where the accident happened. You can see the impact is going to happen. It's only going to grow from there. So here it is on our maps here. I-24 all the way back. This is several miles of accident here, or several miles of backup because of that accident. You can use Murfreesboro Pike right here. That's a good way to try and steer clear, but it too is going to crowd up. There's a smaller road right here. This is going to be Antioch Pike. That could help you as well get past some of this until they get it all cleared up. Don't forget about Nolensville Road. That's the other side here. This is Nolensville Road. That can also help you steer clear coming in from the south and east side.
5:46, taking a look at your code red weather for today. A couple of showers out there right now. Right now, all the emphasis for severe weather is well to our south and our west. Areas of Mississippi seeing tornado warnings right now. Louisiana, tornado watch and severe thunderstorms. The emphasis for severe weather has gone down to the south for today, which is good. We're not in the clear, but things have gotten better in terms of the likelihood of damaging wind, hail, and also tornadoes. Those have all gone down. Everything you get this morning and into early afternoon, which you can see on a future track, very hit and miss, very much so like yesterday was, just not as much rain for the morning hours, which is good. There's not much out there right now. A couple little isolated showers. 4 p.m. we're stopping. Our westernmost counties, 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. and going into 7 o'clock. That moves right through Nashville, Clarksville, Gallatin, Murfreesboro, Columbia, pulls toward the Cumberland Plateau. A couple hours later, a few more showers still linger through Nashville after 10 o'clock. And then most of our rain exits by about 1, 2 o'clock in the morning into tomorrow. We finally died down. The hours to watch going to be 5 p.m. through 1 a.m. specifically. There'll be a few lingering showers and storms after that on the plateau. 74 degrees this afternoon. Right side of your screen, current temperatures upper 50s and low 60s to start our day.
Greg, thank you. Right now in Operation Crime and Justice, police are continuing to search for suspects regarding Monday's deadly shooting over in Clarksville.
Yeah, this is the one that happened on Martin Street that we were telling you about yesterday. Officers now identifying the victims as Glenn Nicholson and Savannah Lumpkin. Police are asking anybody with information on that shooting in Clarksville to please give them a call.
And we have continuous coverage now in Operation Crime and Justice regarding safety issues in downtown. It's a spotlight right now after Metro Police say country music star Morgan Wallen threw a chair off a 6-story rooftop bar.
And we do have new video this morning from Sunday reportedly showing that chair coming off the top of Chiefs. This is from an Earth camera vantage point. It just missed 2 police officers who were on the streets. And with the Broadway Entertainment Association is a spokesperson for downtown bar owners. He says the city wants to send a message that this kind of behavior will not be tolerated. He's talking with city leaders to look at all possible options to improve safety.
We want Nashvillians and our visitors to understand that this behavior that has occurred over the weekend does not represent our city or our bars or our restaurants or the many thousands of people who visit downtown every weekend.
Now here's the deal. Fox 17 News has been tracking crime in downtown Nashville for years. Not only, petty type crime, but the roofie issue that exists in downtown bars, the homeless situation, the crisis that's down there. And listen, this chair coming over the top of Chiefs is not an isolated case. We have cases all the time of people throwing beer bottles off the top of bars down there. So we understand that, a lot of leaders are using this situation as an example to say something's got to change.
Well, that led to our question over on our Fox Nashville X account. We asked this question. Here we go. We want to know what you think. Should there be more safety measures on Broadway rooftop bars? As of right now, 67% of you all say yes, but you can still sound off. Let us know what you think. Either scan the QR code right there on your screen or go to our Fox Nashville X account and sound off.
State lawmakers right now taking steps to put the brakes on real estate fraud. I mean, yes, still a hot market out there, but the FBI's internet crime team tracked more than 9,500 cases last year, and lawmakers say it is happening here in Tennessee.
There are people that are creating fake quitclaims. They're taking them into our Register of Deeds office, and they're literally walking away with people's properties.
It's a low-tech crime that could literally happen to any homeowner in Tennessee. State Representative Antonio Parkinson of Memphis says it's happened to some of his constituents, and that's why he's leading the charge to reduce, if not stop it, in our state.
There's a company out there called Title Lock that we could hire and pay them money, and they'll secure our properties at the registrar's office. And it's interesting that you'd have to hire somebody to do that to keep this scam from taking place.
The fact is, companies like that aren't actually locking anything. They're selling a deed monitoring service. One of the things Representative Parkinson's bill would do require county offices to see and record a valid ID on every property transfer.
Sometimes it is years before that family even finds out that their property has been stolen. And it costs a lot of money to be able to trace back the property and who stole the property.
The bill moving forward in the House calls for a study to determine how prevalent real estate fraud is in Tennessee, the different schemes being used, and best practices for local governments registering documents related to real estate transactions.
And in a lot of cases, these properties are also transferred multiple times after the individual has stolen the properties.
That was Scott Couch reporting there. In some cases, Representative Parkinson says it's years before homeowners even find out they have been scammed, and by them, some homes have already been sold to multiple times.
God, it's scary, isn't it? All right, so make sure you protect yourself. 551. Taking a live look in steer clear traffic. Breaking news this morning. We have two interstates that are currently that has the interstate shut down is deadly. Justin,
this month's feature game for a chance to win $100 or $1,000. Play daily to get additional entries for a chance to win $1,000. Remember, play daily. Go to the Game Center on our website and you can win money.
It's your journey. Own every mile in the new Hyundai Elantra with America's best warranty. Lease an Elantra for $199 a month or get 3.89% APR or $1,000 bonus cash. Visit your local Hyundai dealer today.
5:54. Welcome back to Fox 17 News this morning. I'm Justin McFarland. This is a steer clear traffic alert to tell you about as I-20, one of the busiest interstates in the entire mid-state, a place that is normally very congested this time of the morning, shut down right now because of a deadly crash that happened earlier in the morning. You can see the long line of traffic. At one point it was moving. It has stopped moving. This is because of the pure amount of people that have gotten out on the road as they're forcing all the traffic off here at exit 56. That's Harding Place in that same area for the South Precinct and for the Sam's Club. If you know that area, you understand the area that I'm talking about. Here are authorities. That is TDOT out there, Metro Police everywhere. They're investigating an accident where someone lost their life earlier this morning. We don't have a crash, even though we do have a crew on the way to the scene. What can you do about it? Well, it's a headache, to say the least. This is the long line of traffic on I-24 stretching all the way back now to the county line. This is Laverne. This is where Rutherford County begins. You can see that's where the yellow is at this point. And then you hit red around Hickory Hollow, all the way in past Bell to Harding, and that's where the backup is. You can use Highway 70 here, that's Murfreesboro Road, as the best way to steer clear predicted. We've gone from yellow to red, and pretty sure this red will start to spread as you get closer to the airport. Once you make it to Bradley Parkway, you've gotten past it. You can take that over to I-24 and continue on, but everything back behind it is going to be extremely slow for the foreseeable future.
And on top of that, code later tonight into tomorrow morning. We're talking 5 p.m. to 1 a.m. In the meantime, a few isolated showers, a few weak thunderstorms. They're going to be there for this morning and afternoon. Very sporadic. Not going to rain the entire day. Up to 74. Right side of your screen. Current temperatures upper 50s and low 60s. Severe potential is still going to be there. I want to stress 5 p.m. into the overnight. Everything before then, do not worry about severe weather. Just make sure we're dodging some rain. What can we do tonight? You got to make sure you have ways to get alerts. So have a reliable weather app, the Fox 17 Code Red weather app. Perfect way to get it. Have your emergency alerts on your phone turned on. That will also go off. Make that really, really aggressively loud noise at night. Weather radios, if you've got one, perfect. Have the batteries in just in case, and you'll be good to go. Charge your devices and just stay up to date. Things have changed since you went to bed when it comes to severe threats. Watch us here live. You can go on social media. I'll be on Facebook shortly after 9 a.m. breaking things down a little bit longer for you. We're going to keep you posted, but the more alerts you can have, the better off we're going to be heading into tonight.
And Greg, thank you so much for that Red Weather Alert update. Well, apparently there are still some things out there that can make people put their phones down.
Some things. There is a computing service called Cloudflare, and they were watching internet usage during the solar eclipse, and yeah, there were fewer people logging on, especially in the big cities where we had the best views of totality. In fact, some of those places saw online traffic drop by about 40%. Even areas that only had partial views, like our area, right, still saw people taking a little bit of a break from their computers and their phones online to watch it all in action.
I believe it. I saw folks in the parking lots. Hey, the U.S. is entering a, so to speak, golden era. Tuesday, the price of spot gold hit nearly $2,400 per ounce. Yeah, this has come after gold hit all-time highs for 7 consecutive weeks.
Now, when we're looking at a year-on-year comparison here, gold has risen 16.5%. Analysts say the boost comes mostly from investors who believe the Federal Reserve is going to cut its benchmark interest rate. Another factor here as well, the central banks, including some from China, that are buying gold to lessen their need for U.S. dollars. Pay attention to that. Many investors see gold as a hedge against inflation.
That's pretty interesting. Hey, we're also talking about Airbnb, really big here in Nashville. Airbnb reportedly bringing in millions to Tennessee through their, that's according to a new tax data report. The report shows Airbnb has brought more than $400 million in sales and occupancy taxes over the last 6 years. In Davidson County alone, this report states that Airbnb has collected $48 million in local sales and occupancy taxes.
By the way, 1% of local occupancy taxes from short-term rentals like Airbnb in Nashville goes toward a housing trust fund. Overall, local hotel occupancies from short-term rentals had created more than $15 million for affordable housing in Nashville. So you see where some of that money that comes in the form of taxes is then turned around to help with affordable housing.
Do you like the game Scrabble?
I love Scrabble.
Okay. Well,
yes.
Mattel is launching a new collaborative version of one of the world's most loved word games. Yes,
okay.
Scrabble.
All right, so they're calling it Scrabble Together. It's going to be available in Europe. All right. Instead of competing, players collaborate to complete goal cards. There are helper cards if you need it. Mattel says the new game mode is trying to bring people together. Well, doesn't the game itself bring people together?
Well, maybe they want some more togetherness.
If you're playing Scrabble with other people, you're communing. Whatever, it's in Europe, right?
They say it's for anyone who finds word games intimidating. That's me. Or whoever thought word games are not for them. You know me and my words. I can come up with some unique words. Hey, stay with us.
We should play Scrabble.
Yeah, really. 6 o'clock hour starting right now.
You're watching Fox 17 News This Morning, your Code Red station.
I-24 at Harding Place is at a complete state. We're going to tell you about the crash that has caused this and the best ways to steer clear.
And the red lights are on Code Red for later today into tonight. New developments waking up to here on your Wednesday morning.
Tensions rise to the Capitol after a bill allowing teachers and staff to carry guns passes in the Senate. Coming up, I'll have reaction from a parent.
Sumner County Schools throwing a hat in the ring. We'll tell you how board members are reacting to the school voucher bills that are on the table.
A lot to get to, but let's start by thanking you for waking up with us here on a Wednesday morning for Fox 17 News. I'm Erica Glover.
And I'm Jennifer Waddell. Traffic news this morning. If you are waking up and you are just now joining us, maybe you're listening and not watching, we have high impact traffic problems here to kick off our 6 o'clock hour.
Yes, we do. Let's get started here at I-24 at Harding Place. This is down in the Antioch area. This is the big one, everyone. It is a really tough place to deal with a total lane closure, but that's exactly what's happening as they force all traffic off here at the Harding Place exit as you make your way out and about there. This is at the Sam's Club, very close to the South Precinct there, that area, Shell Station, the MAPCO, the Taco Bell, all sitting next to each other up there on Harding. That's where we're talking about, and that's where the backup is here this morning. Is everybody, if you're not familiar with it, you're going to get familiar with it because you're going to have to see it because you're going to be forced off here at this exit if you continue on I-24. Let me show you why. There is a deadly crash. One person has lost their life because of a crash that happened about a half a mile in front of that exit where I just showed you there. Metro Police, they're dealing with it. TDOT, they're dealing with it as well. So what is it doing to your traffic? Well, it's causing one big backup. This is all congestion. 24 going all the way back past Haywood, past Bell, past Hickory Hollow Parkway, past Old Hickory Boulevard. All the way down to Waldron Road right now is where the backup is. You can try to take Murfreesboro Road to get into town, but that too is going to have problems. You see all this red? That is where traffic has almost come to a standstill. If you can make it to Briley Parkway, that's where you'll finally be past it. You can also try to take Nolensville Pike. That's going to be a good way to steer clear as well. Try your luck. You can zip all the way around to I-65 and use that to get into town. That's going to be a better bet than trying to deal with this crash over here on 24.
6 today, weather going to be a big impact to your day. Right now, a few isolated rain showers that are on the radar, nothing that we cannot handle and less rain than yesterday morning. Umbrella for the morning and afternoon, 5 p.m. to 1 a.m. Cannot stress that time period enough. 1 to 3 inches of rain move in very quickly. There will be a small wind, hail, and tornado threat during that time period. That threat has gone down overnight. The thing we're most worried about, heavy rainfall causing localized flooding. Our severe threat has gone down to the lower tiers here of worry. It does not mean that there's not going to be wind or that we might not see some small size hail. We'll work you through future track coming up in the next check of your Code Red forecast.
6:03 this morning, and new right now we are hearing from parents who were forced out of the Senate chambers yesterday at the Capitol. Lawmakers there passing a bill that would allow teachers, with certain circumstances and requirements, would allow teachers and staff to carry guns in school.
Well, those parents say they support school resource officers, but they're not convinced this plan will help with school safety.
Fox 17 News reporter Karen Aguilar joining us live this morning at the Capitol to break.
Good morning. After they were forced out of the gallery of the Senate chamber, they continued to stand right outside, chanting and holding signs. Parents walking down these steps, leaving frustrated. They say that their wishes aren't being heard and none of the recommendations that they made were actually on the bill. Republican lawmakers say that teachers and staff have to go through in training and psychological evaluation before they can actually use those guns. They also feel the bill would make schools safer, but some lawmakers and parents argue having more guns in schools could situations and put their children in more harm, causing some tension between parents and members of the GOP. Mary Joyce, a Covenant School mother, weighs in.
Especially a teacher with a gun leaving a classroom full of children to go and protect them from a shooter who most likely has a bigger weapon is irresponsible, to say the least.
The bill is expected to be discussed on the House floor next. Reporting live in front of the Capitol, Karen Aguilar, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
Karen, thank you. Right now in crisis in the classroom, we're continuing the debate over the governor's universal school choice plan. The Sumner County School Board now joining several others in the mid-state lining up against the voucher plan.
Yeah, now they don't necessarily have a say-so in what happens here at the state level, but they're just letting their voices be heard. Lawmakers are currently considering 3 different bills when it comes to these vouchers. The Senate plan would allow students to change districts to essentially go wherever they would want to go. Sumner County Board members say that would drive up their cost. Their concern, of course, would be more students would want to come to the district. Another sticking point here is the plan that gives families about $7,000 per year worth of state money that they could use toward a private school.
When John Doe leaves Sumner County Schools, he gets $7,000, and then this county's going to get $7,000. I said, is this long term? 1 year. Think this through down the road. You know, this is bankrupt states.
And it seems like the majority of the people in my district want school choice. They want to have a say in where their kids go to school.
Well, board members also argued $7,000 would not even cover half the tuition.
Your view, your stories simplified. Check out what's really happening in Middle Tennessee with a Fox 17 News app.
Alignment.
At Budget Brakes, we use the best alignment equipment to straighten out your steering for the best price in town.
Visit budgetbrakes.com. Brakes starting at just $100. Alignment starting at $59.99.
.09 is the time. We are continuing to follow your breaking traffic news. Okay, this is a slightly unusual sight. This is something I was not expecting to see. This is going to be I-24 at Harding Place. That is where police say they're investigating a deadly accident. You can see they're forcing all the traffic off there at the exit for Harding, which is going to be exit 56. The other thing we're looking at is a lot of TDOT trucks. And that is the part of this that is slightly surprising. I was not expecting to see all the TDOT trucks there on the road. Kevin, our photographer on the scene. Yeah, thank you, sir. Can you zoom into the TDOT trucks there? I want to see exactly what it is that they could be doing. TDOT is there. They've shut the interstate now for the last several moments. Unsure exactly what TDOT is doing there, but clearly they're on the scene to deal with something. We can tell you that one person has died as a result of this crash in that area, and since then TDOT has been there along with the Metro Police Department to deal with this. So I'm going to be very curious to see why they're on scene exactly and what comes of that. Very quickly, let's get to me here at the traffic center so we can tell you more about this. This is where the closure is right there. They're forcing all traffic off here at Harding. The backup is going to be pretty massive. This is another scene there of 24 at Harding. Let me show you the best way to steer clear. Here's I-24. The backup is massive all the way to Murfreesboro. Pike is going to be the best way for you to try and steer clear of that particular issue. Again, a deadly crash on I-24 at Harding. As you make your way into Nashville, it's going to tie up the roads for us here for the foreseeable future. A large TDOT presence is there. We're going to get into the details as to why and what's going on. Other news from your community this morning, and some Tennessee lawmakers want you to be able to open carry, not just handguns like you see back here, but all guns. Now, some people are very uncomfortable with the idea that people can walk around with guns hanging on their hips like the Old West. However, there are those who are for this who say it's all about protection and the right to bear arms.
Our U.S. and Tennessee constitutions provide more detail on exactly what those rights are and what constitutes liberty. The right to keep and bear arms is closely tied to the idea of self-preservation, the first law of nature. And I would submit to you that government does not have the authority to dictate by what means someone can protect themselves.
I wonder how comfortable anyone on this committee would feel if everyone in the audience in front of us didn't have a sign that had a gun. I know I'd be terrified. I wouldn't be sitting here. But that's having our society.
Easy. With FanDuel, every night is a watch party. When new customers bet $5 and get $150 back in bonus bets. Bet all the stars with all your friends. Only on FanDuel.
Know about severe weather before it happens. Download the Fox 17 Code Red Weather app. His Fox 17 This Morning newscast is sponsored by Sarah Chevrolet Buick GMC of Nashville.
Coming up on 6:15 is the time. Let's check in with your steer clear traffic. All right. TDOT on the move out there this morning. This is I-24 at Harding Place. All the traffic is being forced off there at exit 56. So this is going to be 24 westbound as you make your way in. You can see TDOT on the scene heavy. Now, we can't confirm that one person has died as a result of a crash that has happened. What I'm unsure of is what TDOT's role is in this particular crash. It is unusual. I will go ahead and say that. It is unusual for TDOT to be on the scene of a deadly crash. Normally, it's Metro Police and some of the help vehicles that are there. But I'm unsure why the TDOT trucks are out there in a heavy way, but I'm sure we'll find out eventually, as they seem to be very busy forcing all of that traffic off the road there. All right, let's get to the ways to get around this. Well, because we got two things going on, everybody. We've got an investigation, and then we got the ways for you at home to deal with this. So this is all traffic coming in from Antioch, from Smyrna, from Laverne, from Murfreesboro. They're forcing it all off here at exit 56. Let me show you what it's doing to the backup. This is the backup here, stretching all the way back now into Rutherford County. You can try to use Murfreesboro Road if you would like. It is now crowded up greatly. You can try things like Old Nashville Highway, or perhaps it's time to start thinking about using the other alternatives here to the south. This is going to be Nolensville Pike. Is going to be I-65. I know it's a long way around, but it actually might save you some time in the long run. Just consider it.
6:16 our time. We're at a Fox 17 Code Red weather alert for later today. Right now, a couple of light rain showers are going to be dotting the radar for the morning and afternoon hours. Those are only going to be more of a nuisance than anything else. Grab your umbrella. Much like yesterday, you will need it on and off and fairly cloudy with a few bursts of sun once the sun does come up. Timing for possible severe weather, 5 p.m. to 1 a.m. Heavy rainfall possible with this, and early rain could be a factor. The more early rain we get, the less severe our storms likely will be. So just take that into account as we watch future traffic. We want a little extra rain and cloud cover this morning into the afternoon. Very light rainfall coming down. Not much we really have to contend with here when it comes to thunderstorms until after 4 p.m. 4 p.m. cutting right down the Tennessee River in our westernmost counties, moving all the way into Nashville by about 5, 6 o'clock, exiting right around 8 and moving toward the Cumberland Plateau. All the yellows and oranges showing us 1 to 3 inches of rainfall possible in a very small window. Wind, hail, and tornado threats are not at zero. However, they have gone down overnight. The issue is that our flooding potential has gone up mainly west and south of the Nashville area.
Greg, thank you. And local headlines, trouble could be in store for a bill allowing the city of Nashville to go ahead and create an East Bank Development Authority.
Interesting power struggle here. Mayor O'Connell for Nashville wants this board to oversee the development of about 550 acres of land on either side of the new Titan Stadium. That board would operate kind of like the Convention Center Authority and also could borrow money and take land with eminent domain. Two Senate sponsors pulled their support from this bill. Votes in the State House and Senate deferred just yesterday, suggesting they may not get around to it at all this session.
In Operation Crime and Justice, Metro Police are searching for a man who was suspected of robbing a bank, and police say he robbed a bank over at Truist Bank Branch. This happened yesterday afternoon. We do have some photographs for you to take a look at right here. Police say the man passed a threatening note demanding money to the bank teller. He was last seen running away towards Thompson Lane. Metro Police and now the FBI, they're investigating. They're asking anyone who might have some information about this robbery suspect to call Crime Stoppers. That number is at the bottom of your screen. It is 615-742-7463.
Longtime Nashville attorney Bart Durham has passed away. You might have heard the news just yesterday. He practiced personal injury law for about 50 years, argued 3 cases before the U.S. Supreme Court. Bart Durham was the first lawyer in Tennessee to advertise in print, on the radio, and TV. He was 89 years old.
If you would like to get some more information about visitation and celebration of life services, visit our website, fox17.com, and search Bart Durham.
All right, tax day quickly approaching here, and if you haven't filed your taxes just yet, time is starting to tick out on you here. Jen Sullivan breaking down what you'll want to know if you're filing last minute.
Time is running out to file your 2023 taxes. The deadline is Monday, April 15th. Everything look different, but the most common documents you'll likely need to file are a W-2, That's your official wage and tax statement, which you should have received from your employer. A 1099, which are given by independent contractors to people like business owners, or if you've earned any interest from stocks or investments and or received any dividends. And a 1098 form, if you have a mortgage or student loan interest. The IRS offers tools to help you navigate through the filing process, and tax software like TurboTax and H&R Block can help you as well.
It's going to guide you through and make those calculations.
Well, it seems like a lengthy process. It can help deliver you a nice return this year. According to the IRS, the average direct deposit return is $3,209.
The fastest way to get your refund is to electronically file and to receive that refund through a direct deposit.
Experts also say the worst thing you could do is not file at all.
One of those mistakes that people make is they just get scared, and so then they put it aside and they say, no, I don't want to deal with it at all, which is about the worst thing you could do.
And if you really need more time, anyone can file for an extension, but you must do that by April 15th. That will give you until October 15th to file. For
Brad. Fuel up to 7 brain health indicators, including your memory. Join the Nariva Brain Health Challenge.
Join Planet Fitness and get energized with fitness that fits your budget. Never intimidating, always free fitness training and equipment for every workout. All in the judgment-free zone. Join today for just $1 down, $10 a month. Cancel anytime. Deal ends Friday, April 12th.
Good morning. 6:23 is the time right now. We do have breaking news and steer clear traffic. Let's get straight to the live look from I-24 Harding. Looks like, Justin, they just reopened it.
Yes, they have. They have just reopened the interstate there at I-24 at Harding Place a short time ago. Thankfully, our own Kevin Mumphrey there on the scene showing us the live look there. Now, it had been shut down for the last hour or so while they've been investigating a deadly accident there in that area. But again, TDOT was out there in mass a few moments ago, looking like they were trying to fix something, but clearly those crews have finished up, and now they've reopened all lanes there of I-24 at Harding. So let's go to our cameras here. State officials still on the scene there on the shoulder of the road. I have yet to see any crashed cars as a result of this crash at all. We have yet to see the accident here involved, but there we are. We can tell you the drive times are a mess. 2 hours coming in from Murfreesboro right now. Thankfully, that time will start to come down now that the crash has cleared. Mount Juliet at 39 minutes. Hendersonville 38 minutes from the north side.
By the way, we do have to our local law enforcement to find out what happened there. And we're also going to work with TDOT to find out what they were doing. All right, 6:24. Quick weather headlines for you. Greg telling us that we're watching for the possibility of some severe weather today. We are in a code red weather alert in case you're just now waking up and joining us. The biggest concern for today with this code red threat is going to be the possibility of flooding. And there is a low level threat for a tornado to spin up today. So there's your weather headlines. We'll monitor things for you. Greg's going to join us again here in just a few minutes and do a deeper dive into your forecast and let you know when the rain is going to move into your area.
Well, it's a big day for Nashville Predator hockey fans out there as the Predators are once again playoff bound. Yeah, they lost to the Wind Up for the Team's newsletter. That early access will begin today at 2 p.m. and the Preds season ticket holders will get an even earlier chance. Then tickets go on sale for everyone else tomorrow at 10 a.m. We've got a link to all of that on our website at fox17.com.
And happening this morning, we go to Franklin County, where its office there is looking for 2 men who they say robbed a convenience store at gunpoint.
They say it all happened at the Lakeshore Market on Highway 130 in Winchester on Sunday night. The sheriff's office says 2 men hit the store clerk with a gun and then demanded money from the register. They were able to get away with $725. The sheriff's office is asking anyone with information to contact the Franklin County Dispatch Office. That number is 931-967-2331.
Do you think teachers should have the right to carry in the classroom to protect their students? That is a hot debate. Sponsored by Fox 17.
If you've been injured in a crash truck, you deserve to know who's responsible. Call Ponce, the real truck lawyers. We'll uncover the true cause of your crash and fight for the compensation you deserve. Call Ponce Law, justice for all.
Get the Fox 17 News app now. instant alerts the second news breaks. Watch Fox 17 News anywhere. Download the Fox 17 News app now. You're watching Fox 17 News This Morning. Your Code Red.
Good morning. 6:30 on the dot and a live look from Nashville. Cloud day, code red weather alert now in effect for your Wednesday. We'll tell you about the one biggest threat that we're monitoring for later today.
And your steer clear traffic takes us to I-24 at Harding Place. That's where we had an interstate shutdown earlier this morning. It has since reopened in all lanes. We're going to tell you about the slowdowns that we're still seeing as you make your way in.
A busy morning, but we do want to start by thanking you for joining us here on a Wednesday morning from Fox 17 News. I'm Erica Glover.
And I'm Jennifer Waddell. We're glad to be your live local news source through 9 a.m. And we just mentioned a code red weather alert in effect for today. Let's join Greg now to find out what we're monitoring most this Wednesday.
Yeah, most carefully rainfall for sure. Heavy rain going to be associated with this no matter what, and most of that comes down after 5 p.m. the overnight hours. Strong storms are still possible, but our severe weather threat has gone down since 10 p.m. last night. Wind, hail, and a spin-up tornado or two cannot be ruled out during that 5 p.m. to overnight time frame, but those chances have dwindled quite a bit. Taking a look here, severe weather outlook, we're all under a category 1 out of 5. The lower the number, the fewer number of severe storms that are expected. However, that doesn't mean the rain is not going to be here and not be very prevalent at that. Taking a look, I've increased flooding potential. Wind potential there for damaging wind is still elevated just a touch for us, but tornadoes have gone down. And I'm looking at almost a 0 hail threat for anything more than maybe pea size, and that's typical for us this time of the year. How much rain are we going to end up getting by the time we're done with it and into tomorrow morning? Some 1 to 3 inches of rainfall. This actually has increased the number here throughout the last. Everything keeps trending up for rain. Where's the area we're watching most carefully for possible flooding? I would take I-65, cut it down to the east, or I should say to the west, the best chance for more rain, east, less rain, and then I-40 to the south, more rain, I-40 to the north, less rain when it comes to flooding potential.
Steer clear traffic out there for you this morning. Let's get you here to the very latest on I-24 at Harding Place. That is where we are dealing with clear traffic at this point. Clear traffic in this area. We did have a crash just off of I-24 here at the Harding Place area, as police are still going to be there in the area for the next little bit, dealing with the aftermath of a crash here in this area that left one person dead. Again, the interstate was shut down for quite a bit. Thankfully, they've been able to reopen the interstate, all lanes there on I-24. So let's show it to you here on the on our traffic cameras here. Here is where people were getting off. They were forced to be getting off here at 24 at Harding as you make that drive in from Antioch, Smyrna, and Laverne. Thankfully, though, the times will start to come down. An example of that, 31 minutes in from Franklin right now. Drive 85 minutes, nearly an hour and a half in from 38 minutes coming in from Hendersonville right now. Keep in mind, the traffic times here will start to come down as the morning goes on now that they've reopened all lanes there. There's still a lot to learn, though, about that deadly crash.
Well, new this Wednesday morning, parents are forced out of the state Senate chamber at the Capitol as state lawmakers passed a bill allowing teachers and staff to carry guns in public schools.
There are some parents who are questioning how this plan specifically addresses school safety. There are others who are in support of it. Fox 17 News' Karen Aguilar at the Capitol to take a closer look.
It was a Republican-led effort where they want to make schools safer following the Covenant School shooting. Yesterday, here at the state capitol on the Senate floor, the bill passed, but it was met with vocal opposition from community members and Covenant School parents. Tell Fox 17 News that they are frustrated, not just with the bill passing, but that none of their recommendations made it on the bill. After the commotion, dozens of people were escorted from the gallery of Greenbrier. Republicans continue to stand behind the bill. Paul Bailey, the sponsor, tells Fox 17 News staff would have to go through intensive training along with a psychological evaluation. Senator Campbell argues having more guns in schools could escalate situations and put children in harm.
This bill is totally permissive. If a school district and a local sheriff's department do not want to implement this policy, they don't have to.
I think it's a travesty. I mean, this is going to make our schools less safe, and we were very clear about that in committee. It was very unfortunate that we kicked a lot of the people there who were there to voice their fear.
The bill is expected to be brought on the House floor next. Reporting in front of the state capitol, Karen Aguilar, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
Karen, thank you. 6:35 right now. Operation Crime and Justice. Fox 17 News has been documenting crime problems in downtown Nashville for months. We're talking assaults, attacks, a roofie problem, the homeless crisis, and so on. But now we have some leaders who are questioning safety downtown after Metro Police say country star Morgan Wallen threw a chair off a rooftop bar.
And this Wednesday morning, we do have to show you, you can kind of see, we're going to circle in on it, what appears to be an object falling from the Chiefs rooftop bar. We can assume that object is the chair. Well, police said a chair narrowly missed 2 Metro police officers. And now we're hearing from Rob Mortensen with the Broadway Entertainment Association. He is a spokesperson for some bar owners downtown. He says the city wants to send a message that that kind of behavior is not going to be tolerated.
We want Nashvillians and our visitors to understand that this behavior that has occurred over the weekend does not represent our city or our bars or our restaurants or the many thousands of people who visit downtown every weekend.
Now, it's interesting because when Fox 17 News has reached out to many leaders about other crimes in downtown Nashville, we get crickets in many instances. And certainly a chair being thrown off the rooftop bar, this is not an isolated event. Metro tell us just in the last week they had reports of people throwing beer rooftop bars. So definitely something that's being talked about now because it was Morgan Wallen who was connected to, according to police, this latest case. So what do you think?
Yeah, we want to know, should there be more safety measures on Broadway rooftop bars? It's a question that we're asking over on our Fox Nashville X account. As of right now, 67% of you all say yes, there should be more safety measures. You still can sound off by going
Eurostone. Camera costs in 3 to 5 days guaranteed or it's free. EurostoneTN.com.
I'm one of those people that I wake up smiling. Knee pain and foot pain gave me a reason not to smile. Once I got my arch supports from Good Feet, that pain just kind of instantly went away. My wife said, "You're a different person." She thought that was good.
Get severe tornado warnings first. Download the free Fox 17 Code Red weather app.
Time right now is 6:39. Taking a look at your forecast. We're in a Code Red weather alert. Here are our 4 threats we always watch: tornadoes, wind, hail, and flooding. And here's where we sit. 5 p.m. through the overnight hours. Most of this wraps up by around 1 o'clock in the morning with a few straggling storms that will take us through 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. Tornado, it's not at 0, very low. That has gone down overnight. That's good news for us here. Hail threat, almost to 0 now, which is also great. But damaging wind and flooding are still there on the scale. And both of those we have to watch most carefully as these storms move in. Most of what we get today is going to be of no consequence this morning or afternoon. But 5 p.m. into those overnight hours, heavy rainfall will come down for everyone. 1 to 3 inches worth of rainfall. Taking a look for how much rain we'll get between now and the end of this event. And it really does stack up to be 1 to 3 inches of rain that come down in a real short amount of time. Typical flooding, you get 1 to 3 inches of rain within 2 or 3 days. At ponds, you find those places. That's a typical flooding scenario here. Not much to worry about. Flash flooding is what I'm concerned about overnight into tomorrow morning, because that means we're going to get a good 1 to 3 inches of rainfall, very short amount of time, less than a 6-hour period. West of I-65 and south of I-40, the area is most likely to see potential flooding overnight tonight.
Steer clear traffic, a new problem to tell you about. This one's going to be on I-24 near Old Hickory Boulevard. You make your way down from the White Creek area. Very slow traffic in this area because of a crash up ahead of this on the shoulder, but still causing some delays for sure. So heads up as you make that drive down. You may want to consider using things like White Creek Pike or Clarksville Highway. The best way to steer clear. We want to give you a closer look right here. You can see 73 minutes on that big slowdown that extends back for several miles. Again, we were dealing with that crash at 24 Harding Place that unfortunately cost one person their life. Traffic seems to be back to normal in that area.
Operation Crime and Justice right now. We go to Clarksville, where police continue to look for people responsible for Monday's deadly shooting there. It happened on Martin Street. We brought it to you as breaking news yesterday morning. 2 people died.
Yeah, those people are Glenn Nicholson and Savannah Lumpkin. Police are asking anyone with information on this shooting to please give them a call as they are trying to solve it.
And new this morning, a lot of joy, a lot of happiness, a lot of cheers after UConn wins the men's basketball championship, and they made it way back to Connecticut after beating Purdue. What you're looking at here, some of the video from all the celebrations.
Yeah, it's our head coach Danny Hurley there at the front of the at the podium there, speaking to the crowd that's been assembled. UConn is back-to-back champions. First time it's been done in the NCAA basketball tournament for the last 17 years. Florida, the Gators, last team to do it, by the way. This makes UConn sixth championship for them, tying them for the third most all-time with Carolina Tar Heels.
What makes that?
Fox Wednesday, two worlds collide with The Masked Singer and Transformers.
We are ready.
The robots in disguise meet a wild card surprise.
I think this is Terry Crews.
Michael Irvin.
Deion Sanders.
Tonight at 7 on Fox 17.
Good morning and welcome back into Fox 17 News this morning. 6:45 is your time. State lawmakers taking steps to put the brakes on real estate fraud. Now, there are right now no national statistics, but the FBI's Internet Crime Team tracked more than 9,500 cases last year.
And lawmakers say it's absolutely happening in Middle Tennessee. Fox 17 News anchor Scott Couch has this report.
There are people that are creating fake quit claims. They're taking them into our Register of Deeds office, and they're literally walking away with people's properties.
It's a low-tech crime that could literally happen to any homeowner in Tennessee. State Representative Antonio Parkinson of Memphis says it's happened to some of his constituents, and that's why he's leading the charge to reduce, if not stop it, in our state.
There's a company out there called Title Lock that we could hire and pay them money, and they'll secure our properties at the registrar's office. And it's interesting that you'd have to hire somebody to do that to keep this scam from taking place.
The fact is, companies like that aren't actually locking anything. They're selling a deed monitoring service. One of the things Representative Parkinson's bill would do is require county offices to see and record a valid ID on every property transfer.
Sometimes it is years before that family even finds out that their property has been stolen. And it costs a lot of money to be able to trace back the property and who stole the property.
The bill moving forward in the House calls for a study to determine how prevalent real estate fraud is in Tennessee, the different schemes being used, and best practices for local governments registering documents related to real estate transactions.
In cases, these properties are also transferred multiple times after the individual has stolen the properties.
All right, Scott Couch with that report. Now, in some cases, Representative Parkinson says it's years before homeowners ever find out they've been scammed. How scary is that? And by then, some of these homes have been sold multiple times out from under them. So please just consider that your warning and take steps to protect yourself.
Now to a story trending on Fox17.com. Fox News has released its Tennessee travel guide. Nashville is, of course, not surprised, front and center right there.
Yeah, so when I first read this article, it was interesting to me because I thought, all right, would an agency recommend what we would recommend, right, living here in Nashville? So let's take a look at it here. We're going to deep dive. First on this recommended list of things to do in Nashville is checking out all of our parks. Centennial Park, Radnor Lake, Shelby Bottoms, Love Circle Park. Now, I have to admit, when I read that article, I thought, Love Circle Park.
I was just asking that question.
Yeah.
I would add the Percy Warner Steps to that list too.
Yes.
Well, Music City can't be Music City without our music venues, right? So this article also recommends the Grand Ole Opry and the Ryman Auditorium, which is my personal favorite.
Yeah, and that's just the beginning, because when you think Nashville, you think Broadway, right? So of course, Broadway made the list. Do you think this article missed anything? You can read it in full. We'll make sure to link it through our Facebook page. But it was initially published on the Fox News website. I don't know, what do you think? Did they miss anything to do in Nashville?
I have to go read the entire article.
I think going to the Frist is a good option.
Ooh, yes.
Cheekwood.
And then Bluebird Cafe.
Yes.
I'm thinking of all the eating places. That's where my heart goes first. The food.
Yes, go to the food. Barbecue, of course. Do you go to Jack's? Do you go Martin's? Do you go Edley's? Do you go
Is Centennial Park on that list? I want to add
It was.
that. Okay.
Yeah, it was.
And I would say that if you're a history buff, the historical places in Franklin and Nashville, if that's kind of your jam, you can get such good storytelling and see places that are just so historic. So that's my add to the list.
Okay.
Deep dive into the Nashville history. It's really, really cool. Taking a look, what's not so great is the fact the red lights are on. Now, we're doing that for later today. Right now, this morning, we're out the door, we're grabbing the umbrella. There's definitely going to be some enough rainfall to kick off our day. Not nearly as expansive as yesterday morning, so we're not starting off here steady rainfall, but we do have a couple of sprinkles that have been out there. And this afternoon will be very similar. 5 p.m. 5 p.m. going all the way through 1 o'clock. We're talking Nashville area, even a little bit earlier by an hour or so in our western counties. That's our chance for any potential severe weather. That severe weather threat has gone down, but early morning rain, that's going to be a factor to also potential flooding later in the day. So what does it look like when it comes down to the three things we're watching for? Heavy rain is a high-end threat for almost everyone. 1 to 3 inches of rain. Localized flooding can't be ruled out, especially west of I-65 and south of I-40. We're going to get 1 to 3 inches, like I mentioned, within about a 6-hour time period. That's very quick. Severe storms, they're low. It's not a zero threat, but that has gone down a little bit overnight. The severe weather potential has now been pushed down to states. Talk about the Gulf Coast area. They have the best chance for widespread severe weather. Right now, waking up in the upper 50s to low 60s on the way to 74 degrees with a few more lingering non-severe storms possible on our Thursday.
Weather Window, presented by the National Weather Desk.
Rounds of showers and thunderstorms rolled Texas Tuesday evening, some plopping plenty of hail on the ground. This view outside our station in Austin, other areas saw apple-sized hail. We're still seeing lots of eclipse photos from Monday. These leafless tree branches took on a spooky look near South Bend. And in Washington, D.C., a partial eclipse collection of crescent shapes on the ground.
Steer clear traffic this morning. Let's get you out and about. This is going to be I-24 at Old Franklin Road. Coming in from the Antioch area, we were seeing a bit of a slowdown here just a few moments ago. Seems like things have eased up, thankfully, as you make that drive in there. Things have not eased up so much out in Putnam County. First time in a little while we've checked in on this crash, but there is a crash there on I-40 as you make your way in from Cookeville. Good morning, Cookeville, Putnam County. As you get on 40 going into town, there is a crash. We understand the right shoulder could be open here with this crash, so you can get by. Otherwise, I would suggest Highway 70 is the best way to steer clear of this crash they've been dealing with since around 4 o'clock this morning.
All right, Justin, thank you so much. 6:51, check this out. In case you needed another reason to love your four-legged fur babies, today is National Hug Your Dog Day. That's every day in our house, though.
For sure. Hey, those extra cuddles are beneficial, reportedly, to both of us, okay? Hugging your dog, experts say, releases a feel-good hormone called oxytocin, not oxycontin. You're going to be like, what the heck?
Listen, that's a whole other show, okay?
Get some oxytocin. Both humans and your dog. Giving you or your canine a little boost.
Let's go. Solar eclipse classes.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I got you. Solar eclipse classes could still have a purpose. Yeah, the eyeglass company Warby Parker is partnering with Astronomers Without Borders to help recycle and redistribute the used glasses. They will be sent to schools or places around the world that have limited access and resources to things like this so that they can watch the eclipse.
Yeah, the gently used glasses with an ISO logo can be donated at Warby Parker retail locations or Astronomers Without Borders drop-off locations until the
truck series, and accumulating to over 220 something wins. It's been an awesome ride, awesome career, and I want to keep adding to that legacy. There's still boxes to go out there and go get and go check.
Join Planet Fitness and get energized with fitness that fits your budget. Never intimidating, always free fitness training and equipment for every workout. All in the judgment-free zone. Join today for just $1 down, $10 a month. Cancel anytime. Deal ends Friday, April 12th.
Good morning, 6:55 is your time, and you're seeing all the red lights here in studio. Yeah, that just said it right there, Fox 17 News, code red alert for later today. We're talking this evening into the overnight. Things have changed since last night. for the better. Sometimes we wake up and we go, we have changes to work through and they're not always that good. This time it helps us a little. But take a look down to our south. South of this one, for all these yellow boxes that are popping up, tornado watches for areas of Mississippi, Louisiana. There have been a few tornado warnings already. We have one that looks like just popped up here to the west of Baton Rouge. Do you have friends or family that are in Louisiana or Mississippi? They're actively working through a lot of strong, severe weather. For us, most of it will pivot down to the south, which is good. But I want you tonight to have ways to get alerts to your phone from 5 o'clock on. A reliable weather app, the Fox 7 weather app, the best thing you can do. Also, emergency alerts that your phone comes built in with, turn those on and have your phones on loud. Weather radios, put the batteries in, charge the cell phones, and then just stay up to date. Things can still change in the next 10 hours as we lead ourselves throughout the afternoon. But as of right now, 5 p.m. until 1 a.m., stay weather aware for sure. And I'll have a new look at the exact hour-by-hour timeline as we become really live on local news source starting at 7.
Greg, thank you so much. At 6:56, we do want to check in with your Clear traffic update to see what's happening out there. Let's take a look at I-40 at Spence Lane east of downtown. The good news is you can see for yourself, you're not seeing any crashes or disabled vehicles on the shoulders, but there are some slick spots out there, so to be aware of that. The green light with a little bit of a brake check. Again, I-40 Spence Lane. There you go.
All right, let's get to some consumer headlines this morning. We're talking about how short-term rentals are impacting Nashville when it comes to money. And as it turns out, Airbnb is bringing in millions of dollars to Tennessee through the taxes that are collected. A new report out shows that Airbnb has brought about $400 million worth of taxes over the last 6 years to Tennessee. Now, in Davidson County alone, Airbnb has collected $48 million in local sales and occupancy taxes.
1% of local occupancy taxes from short-term rentals in Nashville goes towards a housing trust fund. Local hotel occupancy tax revenue from short-term rentals has created more than $15 million worth of affordable housing, according to some experts in Nashville.
We have a recall to tell you about this morning, and it involves hand sanitizer. We have Certex with a certain type of alcohol in the hand sanitizer being recalled due to health risks. So let's dive in and find out what's wrong here. The FDA says 40 lots of Aruba Aloe hand sanitizer gel with alcohol and something called alcoholata gel had been altered by methanol, which is used in all kinds of industrial products, and you don't want that. If you look at your screen, we're showing you pictures of the hand sanitizer and the bottles that they come in. If you use this particular hand sanitizer, it could cause all kinds of issues. We're talking seizures, blindness, nervous system damage, and in worst case scenario, death. So again, look at your screen, top left corner. It shows you the hand sanitizer in question. You're being asked to throw it away immediately.
Fox 17 News is also updating you on our breaking news situation. We are taking a live look of a crash that is right off of Metroplex Drive. Our cameras out there getting you a picture of what's happening out there. We are not getting a lot of details as of right now as to the extent of the injuries, but you can see this has certainly caused a large response from officers out here who have blocked off this portion again of Metroplex Drive, and they're just working to get some answers. So we're going to have some more updates coming up during our 7 o'clock hour. But again, our Fox 17 News crews are out there working to get some more updates for you.
You're watching Fox 17 News This Morning, your Code Red station.
We are in Code Red today for possible strong to severe thunderstorms late today into tonight. The severe criteria that we could be looking at and how that's going up or down since that's that we're going to piece it together in the forecast.
Greg, thank you. And steer clear traffic has been a mess all morning. We've got a few spots clearing out and some others starting to stack up as we get into our 7 o'clock hour. But that's why we're your live local news source through 9 to help you get around it. We'll get those detours in moments.
And parents forced out of the Senate chamber at the Capitol as state lawmakers pass a bill to allow teachers and staffers to carry guns in school. Why some are not convinced this plan is going to help when it comes to school safety. Thank you so much for joining us here on a busy Wednesday morning for Fox 17 News. I'm Erica Glover.
And I'm Jennifer Waddell. We're glad to be your live local news source, always here for you through 9 a.m. Let's get started right now with our Code Red weather alert. We have one threat in particular that we are monitoring closely here on your Wednesday morning. We know that flooding could be the biggest concern today, Greg.
Yeah, everything else has gone down. Now, it's not zero, not even close to it, but it's gone down from yesterday morning. The flooding has gone up. 1 to 3 inches of rain in about 6 hours can add to potting and also flash flooding, but not for everyone. So here's what's changed. Here is the scope of things. Strong storms possible, 1 to 3 inches of rain across the board. There's not one specific area that's going to necessarily get versus the 3 inches. That is just the scope. We're all going to end up in the same ballpark for it. Depends how quickly the storm system moves in. Wind, hail, and a few tornadoes are all possible for us here. This is our severe weather outlook. We always show this, that scale of 1 to 5, all the different colors. We're in the lowest for it, where it comes to a category 1 out of 5. The lower the number, the better it is in terms of the number of severe storms you could see. What are our threats? Well, taking a look, tornadoes are not at 0. Now, when I say tornadoes plural, likely only the spin-up variety if we see a few. Still dangerous. Absolutely, but definitely not as rough as going to be down to the south. We're talking down toward the Gulf Coast. They're projecting and forecasting multiple EF2 to EF3 tornadoes. So we're going to miss the boat on that portion of any of these thunderstorms. Taking a look here. We're still up decently into the moderate category, and then I have enhanced the flooding a little bit up to the moderate category as well. The areas in yellow have the best chance for any flooding risk leading into tomorrow morning. We're cutting the line here west of I-65 and then south of I-40. Kind of that general arcing area has the best chance. Doesn't mean that if you're in the green, you're not going to have any standing water, but the spots in the yellow have a much better chance to work into a few spots that could even have flash flooding where you have the water quickly rising as opposed to slowly ponding. 74 degrees later on this afternoon, 68 tomorrow. We'll stay in the upper 60s on Friday, finally dry out by the end of the afternoon, and then the weekend forecast has not changed. Upper 70s to right near 80 both days.
Zero clear traffic out there for you this morning at 7:02. Quick look here, and we are getting a first look at that crash. We believe this is the crash that was on I-24 earlier this morning, why they had to shut down the interstate. And unfortunately, I hate to confirm, but I was right. The car left the road. Car left the road and ended up in the back of a business on Metroplex Drive. And that is where authorities have now centered their investigation. Again, one person died in that crash that happened earlier this morning. That blue Infiniti Q50 seems to be the car involved in this crash. Our photographer, Kevin, if you can actually just zoom out a little bit, sir. I just want to make sure we're not compromising their investigation a little bit there. Could be some sensitive things still being shown. I see the coroner's van is still there. That's the other reason, sir. Please zoom back. I'm not sure if they've been able to get everything they need in that particular scene as of yet. You can also see the cars zooming back and forth back behind them through the trees. That is I-24. So this is, again, I'm not sure exactly what business this is, but this is in the back of a business on Metroplex Drive, and that is the deadly crash where police were investigating earlier this morning that ended up shutting down the interstate. So a lot of work to do as far as clearing this scene, but all lanes have now reopened since then. This is going to be I-65 at Trinity Lane. You make that drive down from the north side this morning. Typical here in this area, not causing huge delays, just minor ones this morning. The other thing we're watching, of course, is drivers coming out from Clarksville since because of some stop and go here because of an earlier crash in this area. You can use Clarksville Pike or Whites Creek Pike is the best way to steer clear.
Well, new this Wednesday morning, a man facing a long list of charges after Metro Police say he got high and began firing a gun inside of his home. Well, officers say they responded to a home on 23rd Avenue North around 4 yesterday morning. Police say Burley Brown told officers someone came into his bedroom and began shooting at him. Police say Brown's roommates, though, told them Brown smoked drugs all day, woke up, and then started shooting. Brown later telling police that he had smoked meth and heroin and then fired 8 to 10 shots in the bedroom. He is now facing charges, including 70 counts of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon.
7:05 right now, Operation Crime and Justice. We have some very clear pictures this morning of a man accused of robbing a bank in South Nashville. So let's get straight to them here. These are the security pictures from the Truist Bank on Nolensville Pike, again in South Nashville. Metro Police say the man here on your screen, wearing a tank top with lots of tattoos, walked in broad daylight yesterday, about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. reportedly gave the teller a threatening note and then took off with the cash. The FBI is now joining Metro Police trying to track him down. And now to crisis in the classroom. Parents forced out of the Senate chambers just yesterday as state lawmakers passed a bill to allow teachers and staffers to, with certain training, carry guns in the classroom.
These parents think more guns in schools increases danger for their children. Senator Paul Bailey is a sponsor of the bill, and he says it allows all staff and faculty members to be armed in Tennessee schools if they take 40 hours of training and have a psychological evaluation.
Senator Heidi Campbell and some parents argue having more guns in schools could escalate situations and put their children in harm's way, causing, as you might imagine, tensions among parents and members of our GOP.
I'm done being respectful when my kids' lives aren't valued here, frankly.
Your kids' lives are valued.
No, they are not. You legislated against my child specifically.
Well, the bill passed the Senate yesterday. The bill was tabled, though, in the House last session and is expected to be brought up again in the House next.
Tennessee's open carry law could be a little bit more open. Coming up next, we're going to tell you why lawmakers have voted to allow not just handguns free, but all guns.
Different priorities is all. Satellite-free DirecTV. Never thought I'd see the day. Well, our lifespans are quite short.
Stream DirecTV without a satellite dish.
I'm going to do this thing with my neck, just for a bit.
This Fox 17 This Morning newscast is sponsored by Tennessee Home Buyers.
7:09 is the time. We are following breaking news this morning from the Antioch area. That is where authorities remain on the scene investigating a deadly crash involving at least one car that we can tell so far. This same crash had the interstate shut down earlier this morning involving that blue Infiniti back there. Authorities remain on the scene right now. They are letting in more people, we believe, coming up here over the next few minutes to try and get that car out of there. Again, this deadly crash did shut down I-24 near Harding Place a few hours ago. Thankfully, all lanes of the interstate have reopened. We're going to continue to follow this scene there and the back of this business on Metroplex Drive coming up here in the next little bit. Let's get to local news. There is a Tennessee bill that is pushing its way through the legislature right now that would allow not just handguns to be carried openly, but all guns. Now, some people will say this is about the right to bear arms here in the country. Others say they're uncomfortable whenever they see guns being open carried by anyone other than law enforcement. The debate waged on for a good little bit there before we finally got to the final vote that looked a lot like this.
All those favors in House Bill 2802 to Criminal Justice Full Committee, say aye. Aye. Opposed, say no. Bill moves on.
Look, guys, one person.
The roll call, the request for roll call was made by one member. It takes three. That's the rule. It's been the rule. But you can be recorded as a no. Here's where we're at. You all have interrupted this committee this entire hour and a half. So, and I understand that, but I need you all to refrain from yelling, speaking out of turn. All that. We have a couple more bills on committee, and then we're going to adjourn.
So that's about how that went there from the Tennessee committee room there for House members. This bill did pass that committee. We'll move on to the full House for a vote, where I imagine similar things may happen there as well. Crisis in the classroom this morning as the Sumter County School Board is passing a resolution against the governor's universal school choice plan. Now, there are three competing bills out there. The Sumter County School Board members, as a group, oppose all three. One board member says the majority of the parents he speaks with are for the vouchers, but a majority of the board members believe the vouchers will hurt in just about any form, and when they say hurt, they mean hurting the school system financially.
We don't need to use our tax dollars to go to private. That's the bottom line. And parents, one board member was adamant that he won't support parental choice. Parents have choices now.
So far, a number of other mid-state school districts have also expressed their opposition to school vouchers. To read more on this topic, you can visit our website at fox17.com. And of course, for our Crisis in the Classroom, it's Fox 17's commitment to exposing problems in our schools and finding solutions. You have a story you think we should be doing, you can send us an email to news@fox17.com or call our tip line. Leave us a message, 615-266-4149.
And waking up in a Fox 17 News code.
Know your glucose levels. No finger sticks needed. All with the world's smallest and thinnest sensor. Manage your diabetes with more confidence and lower your A1C. Try it for free at freestylelibre.us.
Feels good to be home. This weekend only, don't miss Ashley's 72-hour sale. Get 30% off your first item plus 20% off the rest of your purchase. Or get 0% interest for 5 years. Shop now, spend less, and get more. Only at Ashley.
We continue to follow the breaking news this morning from the Antioch area. That is where we're taking a live look there of a crash just off of Metroplex Drive. That's very close to I-24 Harding Place. Back through the trees, you can see the traffic whizzing by up there. That is I-24. Early this morning, there was a crash that unfortunately took the life of at least one person. It did require them to shut down the interstate for some time, and since then, they've been investigating this car on the other side of that tree line in the back of a business there just off of Metroplex Drive. Our crews are there talking to investigators, trying to get more details. We're going to give you the very latest as far as any information we're able to find from them coming up here with Steer Clear Traffic. We also are following one more situation that's happening on the north side. This is going to be Briley Parkway at I-65 there. Looks like a tow truck could be pulling up right now. There it is, in order to get those cars out of there. An ambulance was there a little bit earlier this morning. This crash may have involved some injuries, but again, things may have cleared up a little bit there to get traffic by in that area. Of course, you can always try to take things like Ellington Parkway in that area, Dickerson Pike in that area if you're trying to steer clear. We're going to continue to look at the rest of your Steer Clear Traffic with you live and local through 9.
Taking a look here at your forecast, we're talking about 7:17 is your time. Updates here to Code Red. 1 to 3 inches of rainfall going to come down for us here. New updates here, though, this morning as far as what we're going to end up seeing, taking ourselves into this evening, 5 p.m. until the overnight. That is the time frame we're going to watch. Things have changed since yesterday. We have lowered our threat for severe weather. We have taken our threat for flooding. That's gone up. Flooding, not technically a criteria of severe weather. So you're not going to get warnings or alerts to it until it's happening in real time. Just be mindful of that. Severe weather outlook for today. Everyone across Middle Tennessee and Southern Kentucky working through a category 1 out of 5. What that means is it's the lowest on the scale, but if severe storms can't be ruled out. Let's take a look at future track. A couple of hours have been out there this morning. We get 1 or 2 more of those this morning as well. Nothing is widespread, nothing to really track. They're popping up and they're immediately fit most of us. Taking a look though through 1 p.m. Isolated activity continues, and then I'm going to stop this getting into 3, 4, and 5 o'clock. I mentioned 5 p.m. Really, this has actually sped up the timeline in just the last hour with a brand new look at future track. As early as 4 p.m. in our western counties, this moves into the Nashville area between 5 and 6, lingers through 7 and 8, pulls away by 9 out toward the Cumberland Plateau, and then by the time we get past 1 and 2, it moves out of the area. Real quick mover, but that's why it's not good. When you have a lot of rain that comes down really quickly, it can lead to flash flooding, that quickly climbing water west of I-65 and south of I-40, and a lot of that going to be happening just after our evening drive time. So be very careful on the roads later on tonight.
Greg, thank you. Here's the question. Are we facing a cosmetic crisis? If you use Botox, listen up. The Tennessee Department of Health is warning against using counterfeit products.
Yeah, they say 4 people got really sick after getting cosmetic injections from bogus Botox. So how do you know if what you're getting is legit and safe? Fox 17 News reporter Karen Aguilar joining us live to tell us more and does have some advice straight from a doctor.
Good morning. When people walk down the street, they want to look good, and sometimes they get enhancements like cosmetic procedures, and that includes Botox. According to the Tennessee Department of Health, that's their building right there. 4 people went in to get Botox and instead got bogus Botox, leading them to get sick. They developed botulism. Officials in the Tennessee Department of Health say 2 were seen by healthcare providers and 2 were unfortunately hospitalized. The symptoms of the illness can include blurred vision, droopy eyelashes, slurred speech, difficulty breathing, and even death. A Vanderbilt doctor tells Fox 17 News what you could do to try to avoid this.
The usual recommendation, Scott, do it very legitimately. Go to a licensed provider in this community and make sure you can ask them if they're using the FDA-approved Botox. If you do that, it should be perfectly safe.
The Tennessee Department of Health asked healthcare providers if they have any cases or know any botulism that follows after cosmetic procedures to please report them. Reporting live in Nashville, Karen Aguilar, Fox 17 News, your Code Red Station.
Karen, thank you. The road ahead when it comes to creating
bagels at McDonald's. Indulge in the breakfast you've always wanted. But hurry, these toasty rays of sunshine are here for a limited time. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
This bathroom's so musty.
Damprid's new fast-acting drop-in tab attracts and traps excess moisture, eliminating musty odors.
7:23 is the time, and right now, Fox 17 News, we are bringing you up to speed on the breaking news. We're going to show you a live look from a crash that is right off of Metroplex Drive. Here it is right here. Firefighters just arriving to this scene. The exact address is 561 Metroplex Drive. Now, earlier this morning, we were talking about a crash that was happening at I-24 Harding Place, a deadly crash forcing all traffic off of exit 56. Well, this is what we were talking about. This is what was causing the backup and for all of the roads to be blocked off in that interstate. So again, officers are at Metroplex Drive. You can see firefighters responding. We're working to get some more updates, but as far as the victim of this deadly crash, we don't really have much information. That's something that officers are still trying to figure out and really trying to notify the family about this. We'll continue updating this story, though, both on air and online. You can look for updates over at fox17.com.
All right, very active scene there coming from the Antioch area. Let's take you to the south side of town. This is going to be I-440 at I-65. Authorities have yet to arrive at this scene. 2-car crash there on the shoulder, not causing big problems, but you can see people riding around with their lights on. Overcast, cloudy day with some slick conditions out there. There have been a number of crashes so far. This is another one. They're clearing it up right now. This is going to be 65 at Briley Parkway there on the north side. Police are there watching over a scene. 2 cars needing to be towed. Flatbed truck is there to take them both. We'll let you know when this is fully cleared away.
7:25, a look at our Code Red weather alert for later on today. I want you to know how to be prepared because nothing is happening right now, but a lot of this action, depending upon where you're at, is going to be after sunset, and a little bit of it will actually be over. So reliable weather app, the Fox 17 Code Red weather app, we always tell you to get it. It really is helpful when it comes to getting alerts overnight. Also, just turn the emergency alerts on your phone. Make sure you have those turned on. Okay, always have those turned on because they don't just give you weather alerts. Weather radios, have the batteries in, keep the cell phones charged overnight, and just stay up to date on the forecast. When things happen late in the day and into the overnight, what we're telling you right now at 7:25 in the morning can change over the course of the next 10 hours slightly in many different little ways. As of right now, flooding is the biggest thing we're watching out for, but damaging wind and hail between 5 p.m. and 1 a.m. can't be ruled out. There, that QR code to get the Fox 17 Code Red weather app. And the way the app works, if there is a severe thunderstorm warning or a tornado warning to your specific county, it will alert you only if you are in the path of the storm. It will not be the entire viewing area.
All right, very much 7:26 right now. Trouble could be brewing for a bill that would allow the city of Nashville to create an East Bank Development Authority, essentially overseeing the development of the area around Nissan Stadium. Mayor Freddie O'Connell wants the board to oversee the development of about 550 acres on either side of that new Titan Stadium. It would operate kind of like the Convention Center Authority, could borrow money and take land with eminent domain.
Here's the issue, though. The city needs the state's permission to establish a board like this. 2 senators who were sponsoring the bill pulled their support from the bill recently, and votes in the state house and spurred yesterday, suggesting it may not happen at all this particular session. Well, happening right now, the Franklin County Sheriff's Office is looking for at least 2 men who they say robbed a convenience store at gunpoint. Now, the whole thing happened down at the Lakeshore Market on Highway 130 down in Winchester. This happened on Sunday night. The sheriff's office says hit the store clerk with a gun and then demanded money from the register.
And with regards to the money, they were able to get away with $725. The sheriff's office there in Franklin County asking anybody with information to call dispatch there. And we've got that number on our website, fox17.com.
Well, so ahead, the hearts and minds of local residents are very heavy.
Style all their own, because you're not everyone. And that's a good thing. Bad boy, Mo with an attitude.
Let's go sell something.
Move-in ready, 2-bedroom, 1-bath condo, 246 White Ridge Pike in West Nashville. Bid now, online only until Tuesday, April 16th at 11 a.m.
See us on the web at compassmontgomery.com.
You're watching Fox 17 News This Morning, your Code Red station.
Waking up a Code Red weather alert. Not much happening right now. This is for late afternoon into the overnight hours. Chances for severe weather have changed since last night. The latest updates in your Code Red forecast.
Steer clear traffic takes us to I-440 at I-65. We're dealing with the crash there on the shoulder, plus a much bigger breaking news situation to tell you about regarding traffic coming up in a few.
A lot to get to, but we do want to say thank you for waking up with us here on a Wednesday morning. For Fox 17 News, I'm Erica Glover.
And I'm Jennifer Waddell. We're glad to be your live local news source through 9 a.m. And that breaking news that Justin was just mentioning takes us to Antioch, where Fox 17 News is on location with Metro Fire, Metro Police, working to find out what led to the crash that we see right here off Metroplex Drive. This car that you can see off in the distance near the tree line, we believe was the car involved in the crash that earlier this morning shut down I-24 at Harding Place. We just got confirmation from Metro Police that 1 person has died.
Yeah, firefighters are arriving on the scene about 10 minutes ago. We're going to check in now with our Steer Clear traffic anchor, Justin McFarland, for more updates.
All right, everyone, let's talk about what we've got going on out there. Let's get started, not just there in Antioch. Of course, we've been following that crash since the early morning hours. At one point, the entire interstate was shut down. Interstate is reopened. But now we're following new things. This is going to be I-440 at I-65 on the south side. You can see where TDOT is talking to both of the drivers involved in this crash. Hopefully they can get this moved out of the way here very shortly. But right now we're doing just okay there on that south side. Also continuing to follow this crash on the north side of town. This is going to be I-65 here near Briley Parkway. A couple of cars involved in that crash on the side of the road there. Flatbed is in place to take both of them away. This crash did have some injuries there, we understand, so a lot happening so far this morning. Here we are, 65 coming out from Trinity Lane and that north side. Typical backup we're starting to see here at drive-in from Madison and from Goodlettsville and Hendersonville, Millersville, all of you involved in this, but nothing out of the ordinary. We are following a number of crashes out there on the roads in all directions this morning. We'll continue to give you the latest details we've got live through 9.
Good morning, 7:33 is our time. We are in a Code Red weather alert, and there is a chance for some storms to move through the area that could give us some issues here 5 p.m. until we get to about 1 o'clock in the morning. So not a whole lot happening right now, but diving into the forecast. What's new this morning? Strong to severe weather is possible, and that is our timeline. That has not changed. We've had that timeline essentially locked down the last 24 hours. However, early morning rain is still going to factor later today, and on top of that, we have lowered a few of our risks. That's good news. However, we've made one issue go up, and that is possible flooding. We are all going to get heavy rain. There's no escaping that. As this tracks from west to east, we're going to get about 1 to 3 inches all across the board, which is going to move in about a 6-hour period. That means flash flooding cannot be ruled out. Localized flood threat is definitely there, and still have to worry about damaging wind, small size hail, and a potential spin-up tornado. So everything is still in the cards, but a few of those are being played a little more aggressively now that we look at the forecast going forward. Look down to the south and west of us here. Mississippi and Louisiana in tornado watches. Many tornado warnings to the west and to the north of the Baton Rouge area right now, lighting up with yellow boxes and red boxes indicating severe thunderstorm warnings and tornado warnings. So if you have any relatives that live just south of the Tennessee state line, really into areas of Mississippi, down toward Alabama, and then even out toward Louisiana, you have to watch those places most carefully. That is the bullseye for severe weather this afternoon and into this evening. We still have a threat. We're the lowest on the scale. Really, it's just going to be a big rainmaker for us, taking us through the morning and afternoon hours, hit and miss showers, maybe a quick rumble of thunder. We're going to pick up future track right here at 5 o'clock in the next check of your forecast and work the prime time for all of the rain and the potential for severe weather.
Greg, thank you. Happening today, trucking company Expo is opening the first of its service centers they bought from the now bankrupt Yellow Trucking. Covering this story in the past.
Yeah, sure. We brought that to you when it happened. Yellow closed after 100 years worth of operations last summer. The company about $1.5 billion in debt. Well, the service center that is opening today is in Goodlettsville, and it's the first of 28 centers that Expo acquired from the Yellow Trucking Company. They say the center on Oak Bluff Lane will create more than 60 new jobs and help hopefully smooth some of the supply chain operations right here in the Nashville area.
Right now, we're taking a look over on our website. It's fox17.com with a story that parents and students should be aware of. The Tennessee General Assembly passing legislation Tuesday. We've talked about this that would suspend driving privileges for teenagers who make mass violence threats on school property or at a school-related activity.
So House Bill 1698 is sponsored by State Representative Robert Stevens. If a teenager already has their driver's license, they would lose it for 1 year. If the teen does not have a license, they lose the ability to get that license for another year.
Well, the bill is headed to Governor Bill Lee's desk for his signature. Once signed into law, the act would take effect on July 1st.
My hope and prayer is that Sebastian is still alive, yes. We're going to continue to work on this investigation, follow up every tip and lead that comes in. Some of this may revert back to us going over some things that we've already done for the 6th, 7th, or 8th time. A fresh set of eyes never hurt anything. We're going to continue to work, Bastion.
And that is the word directly from the Sumner County Sheriff's Office there. It's been more than 6 weeks now. Still no sign of what happened to 15-year-old Sebastian Rogers.
The Sumner County teenager just disappeared from his home near Beach High School. That was back on February 26th.
Yeah, and his mother claims that she went to wake him up Monday morning to go to school, and he wasn't in bed. We do want to remind you that Fox 17 News is still looking into his disappearance. We're asking questions of law enforcement, leaders, search groups. And by the way, this is an interesting point here, new this morning. Sebastian's case is one of only 2 active national Amber Alerts right now. If you want to see our previous reporting on this story, we've had interviews with family members. You can head to fox17.com.
15% below MSRP on most 2023 Jeep Grand Cherokee L, and Gladiator models. Hurry, don't miss this great offer.
Don't let plumbing issues disrupt game day. As the official plumbing partner of Nashville SC, our professionals are dedicated to delivering winning results every time. Whether it's routine maintenance or a full-on replacement, we can kick your plumbing issues straight down the drain. Call Hoffman Brothers today.
This Fox 17 This Morning newscast is sponsored by Eurostone.
Good morning and welcome back into Fox 17 News this morning. Happy Wednesday to you. It is April 10th. Here's your weather story for this Wednesday. A few headlines for you while Greg works on a few other details of your Code Red forecast. For starters, we are watching for severe weather today as part of that Code Red weather alert day. We do have flooding that is possible. That's really the biggest threat that we're going to keep an eye on for today. The third headline for today, there is a slight tornado threat. That's not our main concern for today. Greg is going to join us again in just a few minutes as he breaks down more details, tracks the rain moves into your area in your next Code Red forecast.
In health news this morning, the Tennessee Department of Health is investigating cases of botulism-like illnesses following cosmetic injections.
Now, when you get Botox, it is a form of botulism that is injected, but there's illness that's now been caused by something that is not quite right in certain injections. They are tainted, and Fox 17 News reporter Karen Aguilar joining us live right now to tell us about what lawyers have to say regarding this concern.
Good morning. Botox can be used for a number of things, most commonly for wrinkles, and cosmetic injections help with that. But according to the Tennessee Department of Health, 4 people that went in to get Botox actually got counterfeit Botox, leading them to get sick. Health officials say they developed botulism. They say 2 were seen by providers and 2 were hospitalized. The symptoms of the illness include blurred vision, drooping eyelids, slurred speech, difficulty breathing, and even death.
The disease botulism certainly is associated with the risk of fatalities. And fortunately, none of these ladies got severe enough illness to get anywhere near that. We're very fortunate.
He advises that if you do decide to get Botox, make sure that those injections are FDA approved and those that are injecting you are board certified. Reporting live in Nashville, Karen Aguilar, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
All right, Karen, thank you so much. We are going now to Kevin Mumphrey, our photographer on the scene, after a crash involving at least one person who has died right on the roof.
Think about this. Blue Jays, Cardinals, Orioles. What's missing? The Indian condor? No, walnut brain. Pigeons. I'd rather name a team after socks.
To be fair, we're not very athletic.
Hal, Budget Brakes will replace your brakes for the lowest price anywhere, and you get a lifetime guarantee. Relax.
Budget Brakes. Brakes starting at just $100.
Relaxing.
Welcome back to Fox 17 News this morning as we take a live look here at the crash just off of Metroplex Drive. This is over in Antioch, not too far from I-24 at Harding Place. That's where, since early this morning, police have been investigating a crash involving a car that left the interstate, we believe, went through the tree line and ended up there in the back of this business. So the fire department left the scene about 10 minutes ago. By the way, the building, we understand, is for rent. So there's nobody actually in the building that's being affected by this. Authorities are going to continue to stay there at the scene and try to find out exactly how all of this happened. The crash itself did shut down the interstate for a short time. They have since been able to reopen. Again, this is I-24. As a matter of fact, you can see all that traffic whizzing back behind through the trees. That is I-24 itself. They're at Haywood Lane and Harding Place in the Antioch area. So while police continue to investigate that, we will watch your steer clear traffic. I-24 at Hickory Hollow Parkway, making that drive into town. Things are slow, but passable this morning. Not anything that's ripped in a big way. Most of the crashes that we've had in this area have since cleared, and that's certainly good news there. We're watching I-440 at I-65. We did have a crash here on the shoulder a short time ago. That crash has been able to clear up. All of this traffic right here, they're waiting to get on I-65. There's no accident. This is just people waiting to get on I-65. We don't show this camera very often unless there's a crash, but this happens every day. People in these single file lines here because there's only one lane that gets you on to I-65, not two, so people have to wait their turn to make that merge there on the south side.
7:47, taking a look at the other part of our story this morning. Traffic has taken over this morning, and later on today, storms will take over. Taking a look at 3 different timelines. It spells out the picture very well, going from west to east. I'll break this down very simply. Clarksville, more toward the west. Peak times with the hot colors. Think about 6, 7, 8 o'clock being prime time for storm activity later today. Things ramp up getting into that time frame. Nashville, think 7, 8, 9, and 10 o'clock. So about an hour or two difference, as you'd expect. Cumberland Plateau, we push closer to 11, midnight, and 1 a.m. for peak time for any potential thunderstorm. Let's look at that, break it down, confirm it with Future Track. This morning and afternoon is just going to be very much like yesterday and the day before. Run-of-the-mill rain showers, pop-ups here and there, a few quick downpours. But remember that time frame I mentioned, 4, 5, and 6 o'clock, our western counties. 6, 7, 8 o'clock, moving its way toward the Nashville area, and then getting out toward midnight and beyond, we push our way toward east of I-65 and eventually the Cumberland Plateau. Just because the storms end doesn't mean you're not going to have rain on the backside of this. Keep that in mind. But the initial push of shower and thunderstorm activity will give us the best chance for severe weather when it comes to hail and wind. Tornado threat's not zero, but they've all gone down, all three of those. What's gone up? Flooding possibilities. Look at how heavy some of this rain's going to be. 1 to 3 inches worth of rainfall in the matter of about 3 to 4 hours. That means that tomorrow morning we're going to have ponding. There could be flash flooding overnight or very early tomorrow morning, especially tomorrow morning in the Cumberland Plateau areas. Everything finds those high elevations and finds all the creeks and riverbeds we've got below it. 74 degrees later on this afternoon, upper 50s to right near 60 degrees right now. The next dry day, we're still holding on to it. It's going to be Friday with a gorgeous looking weekend after that.
Greg, thank you. 7:49, just over the body of missing Missouri student Riley Strain was pulled from the Cumberland River in Nashville. Families still searching for answers to what exactly happened to him the night he went missing.
And this morning, they believe they have found another significant piece to this puzzle. Joining us is Fox 17 News' investigative reporter, Kelly Avellino. You've been following this case from the beginning. You've spoken to the family. So what can you tell us now?
Well, Jen and Erica, Riley's family and detectives interviewed a new witness who they believe was the last person to see him walking along Gay Street, walking further than where he's widely believed to have fallen in that river. And it's all raising more questions. Let's go over exactly where Riley took his last path. He left Luke Bryan here, made his way up 2nd Avenue, took a tumble right here by Church Street. You remember that surveillance video. Then he crossed over first and onto Gay Street. He made his way up here. We've got surveillance video that shows he made it to about right here. That's where he saw the officer. It's also where I interviewed a homeless man who was down the river embankment here, and he says that he heard Riley fall into the fence and brush in that area. He says another man who was up on the street with Riley that yelled down, "He's okay, he's just drunk." It's that other man that Riley's family and detectives have been looking for. Well, I can tell you, Riley's family tells me as of late last night, they have now found that man and have spoken to him as well as police. Now, the man said that he saw Riley walk beyond the James Robertson Parkway Bridge further up Gay Street. Now, why that's significant is because many people believe he fell into the water right about here, right under that James Robertson Parkway Bridge area. There's fencing that's not very secure right there. But this man now saying that Riley walked again further up the street, even past the Birch Building, which is about right here. So it's all raising more questions. I can tell you that Riley's bank card was still found underneath that area of the James Robertson Parkway Bridge. So a whole lot of questions here. Things aren't exactly adding up, and even though Metro Police have said they believe that this was an accident, Riley's family continues to suspect possible foul play since Riley was found without his pants, a belt, his cowboy boots, or his wallet. Also, there was no visible trauma to Riley's body, according to the preliminary autopsy that would indicate a very steep fall hitting the rocks of the river embankment and then into the water. So again, a lot of questions. Riley's family still waiting for that official. I'm Kelly Avellino for Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
Okay, Kelly, thank you. In your community, more than 40 folks right here from the Fox 17 News team, we got together and we filled some boxes, just some community service at the Second Harvest Food Bank.
We sure did. It was a great morning to get out and serve. Big effort here from our parent company, Sinclair Broadcast Group, to get out and serve our fellow community members. We went over to Second Harvest with our Sinclair Day of Service and had a blast. All smiles. Yeah. By the way, we chose Second Harvest Food Bank, which helps fight food, as you know, that is just something that we know is really important here in Nashville.
We're also talking about some more impacts in your community. Take a look at your screen right here. It was a special day for 22 men and women who have been training to become Nashville police officers since before Thanksgiving. Well, on Tuesday, they graduated. They received their badges. So thank you for joining in the effort to help make Music City a safer place. If you want to check out that story.
Ram. Trucks are what we do.
During Ram Truck Month, get $3,000 total bonus cash allowance on the 2024 Ram 2500 Tradesman Crew Cab, or get 10% below MSRP on the 2024 Ram 1500 Bighorn Crew Cab.
Charlotte, a city pulsing with pride, tastemakers, and trendsetters. Made for eccentric adventurers, trailblazers, and the culture curious. Discover a city that leaves a lasting impression. Plan your trip at charlottesgotalot.com.
Good morning and welcome back into Fox 17 News this morning. Just a few minutes before 8 o'clock. Hey, check this out. If you were wondering about what to do with your eclipse glasses, you might have already thrown them away. But if you haven't, think about this. There are several organizations that recycle eclipse glasses so that they can be reused.
Well, Astronomers Without Borders, have you heard of them? Well, they are accepting donations of the glasses. For 15 years they've been doing this. They work with other organizations to help you drop them off or go ahead and mail them in. Or you could even just save them at home, they say. But understand, these lenses are only good for so long. So they say go ahead and check your packaging for those expiration information. We're going to check in now with our Code Red meteorologist because we do have a Code Red alert day happening.
Morning into the afternoon, no problems. Right now, nothing happening in Nashville. 62 degrees, fairly overcast. There have been a few showers periodically this morning, very tiny little hit and miss showers, nothing that was widespread like yesterday. We're grabbing an umbrella in case, and we'll get a few more of those isolated showers this morning into the afternoon. It really will be 5 o'clock on when things ramp up, when we get widespread rain across the board. All of us, though, for the most part, are at least near the 60-degree mark, if not above it. That's a good place to be this morning. We're going to keep our temperatures warm for now and get to the middle 70s later on this afternoon. However, even though we're going to hit 74, the scattered storms 5 o'clock on give us the potential for severe weather. And we always look at flooding, we look at hail, we look at wind and tornado threats, and all of them have been adjusted since last night. We'll take a look at which ones have gone up and which ones, thankfully, have gone down just a touch for us.
All right, everyone, steer clear traffic for you. Let's get you out to I-24 at Hickory Hollow Parkway. That is where the drive for you this morning is out, and it is going a bit slow there from the south and east side this morning. You can always try Murfreesboro Pike is a good way to steer clear, making that drive in from Antioch. Overall drive times fresh out the oven, 34 minutes here from Kingston Springs, 71 minutes.
Overtime. The Jets did get into the net in overtime, but the Preds ultimately, even though they lost, walked away with that playoff point that they so desperately needed. So congrats to the Preds. We understand that emails are going out right now to season ticket holders so that you can get your playoff tickets. We'll be keeping you posted on how that's shaping up here.
The hottest ticket in town. Hey, get this. We're talking about a new article revealing that popular rental company Airbnb is reportedly bringing millions to Tennessee through their hosting. The report says Airbnb has brought more than $425 million in sales and occupancy taxes to the state since 2018.
Yeah, we're looking at $135 million, 23 alone, and in Davidson County, $48 million. You might be wondering, well, why does the money that Airbnb brings in, why does that money matter? Well, Nashville, for example, takes that money that they collect in taxes and then puts it toward affordable housing units in our city.
All right, so we're talking about money. Let's talk about taxes. Have you filed your taxes yet? If you have not filed your taxes, it's a good reminder that now might be the time that you want to start. You only have until April 15th. If you can't file by the due date of return, you can request a 6-month extension of time to file. Stay with us, our 8 o'clock hour starting right now.
You're watching Fox 17 News This Morning, your Code Red station.
We are starting off today on a Code Red weather alert for this evening into the overnight. We've not really changed timing of incoming thunderstorms, but all the variables that bring it together have shifted since last night. We'll break it down.
Steer clear traffic takes us to the south side, 65 at Boers Lane. Things getting a little crowded. We're going to give you your latest drive times coming up in a few.
Parents forced out of the Senate chamber at the Capitol as state lawmakers pass a bill to allow teachers and staffers to carry guns in school. We're going to talk about why some are not convinced the plan will help with schools' safety. Thank you so much for joining us here on Fox 17 News Morning. I'm Erica Glover.
And I'm Jennifer Waddell. We're glad to be your live local news source from 7 to 9 a.m. We've got one more hour to go as we get you updated on breaking news right here in the Mid-State.
We do want to get right to that breaking news because we are taking another live look at a deadly crash scene right behind me. We're also going to show you a closer look. This is over right here on Metroplex. Police have confirmed one death. Now, earlier this morning, firefighters were at this scene blocking off this area. They have since left, but you can see investigators are still out here as they work this scene. So again, this is off of Metroplex Drive. We're still working to get some answers, try to get a name or an age or any kind of identification. This area, though, is still really blocked off, so do try to avoid it. That building that you're looking at where this crash is, that building is empty, okay? No employees were inside of that. We do want to check in now with our traffic anchor, Justin McFarland, to get some more updates. Big deal out here.
Oh, yes, a very big deal that we've been following since early in the morning. Thankfully, it seems like things are starting to wrap up there at that particular scene over in the Antioch area as they're still looking for answers. As for your answers for your current traffic, this is Vietnam Veterans Boulevard at Gallatin Pike, making that drive in from Sumner County there this morning. Things are moving along, but starting to hit some blockage there. Right now, the drive time coming down from Hendersonville, 49 minutes. That's a little long. You could try Gallatin Road if you like, but things seem to be blocked up in all directions here this morning. Let's talk about I-65. This is at Moore's Lane down the Cool Springs area. Also looking at a very slow go coming out of Williamson County there this morning. You can always try Franklin Pike if you would like as a good way to steer clear of this. But again, we're getting off to a very slow start. No accidents that are majorly holding you up, but a lot of fender benders have been reported on some of our side streets, and that could be causing problems as people get on the road this morning.
And then weather picks up going throughout the day and could give you an issue later on this evening. A code red weather alert for 1 to 3 inches of rain. That's going to be from 5 o'clock until 1 o'clock. Wind, hail, and a few spin-up tornadoes can't be ruled out as well. But those 3 have gone down just a little bit compared to the rainfall chances. Heavy rain for everyone will be in the cards. 5 p.m. again through the overnight. The last raindrops really starting to taper down right around 5 a.m. But the severe weather threat will end a few hours before that. Tornadoes. Can't rule them out, but I'm not highly confident we have to worry too much about that specific threat. More so the wind and the flooding. We'd be talking about 1 to 3 inches of rain, as I mentioned. You get that in 6 hours, and you take all of it flooding quickly, not just the ponding that we're typically used to. There's some areas tomorrow morning that are tough to navigate through due to all the standing water. Here's how quickly it moves in, just like that. And now these numbers continue to increase. Some areas overdo it a little bit. I don't believe we get close to 4 inches of rain, but all the spots in the 1 to 3, pretty good looking ballpark. Where's the most likely area to flood? I mean, when you get that much rain everywhere, we're going to pick the areas that are to the west of I-65 and south of I-40. Everyone shaded in yellow has the best chance. And you will see most of that happening overnight or the very first few hours of tomorrow morning while the sun is down. That's not going to be helpful, so keep that in mind leaving. Give yourself a little extra time tomorrow. 74 degrees this afternoon, 68 tomorrow. We don't dry out until the upcoming weekend, but we get a well-deserved break from the rain for Saturday and Sunday.
Greg, thank you. 8:04 is the time, and new this Wednesday morning. There is a man facing a long list of charges after Metro got high and began firing a gun inside of his home. Yeah, officers say they responded to a home located over on 23rd Avenue North, mapping it out right behind me here, around 4 a.m. yesterday. Police say Burley Brown told officers someone came inside of his bedroom and began shooting at him. Police say Brown's roommates told them, though, Brown smoked drugs all day, woke up, and ultimately began shooting, telling police that he had smoked meth and heroin and fired 8 to 10 shots. He is now facing a number of charges, including 7 counts of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon.
And it's 8:05 right now. We continue Operation Crime and Justice. Metro Police have good pictures of the man they say robbed a bank in South Nashville. Take a look here. You've got 2 different pictures showing the man who looks to be bald. Perhaps he's just shaved his head, tank top, and a lot of tattoos. This is from the Truist Bank on Nolensville Pike. Metro Police say the man walked 8 o'clock yesterday afternoon, so broad daylight, gave the teller a threatening note and then took off with the cash. The FBI is now joining Metro Police to try to track him down.
In crisis in the classroom, parents were forced out of the Senate chamber Tuesday as state lawmakers passed a bill to allow teachers and staffers to carry guns in school.
There are some parents who think more guns in schools would increase danger for their children. Senator Paul Bailey, a sponsor of the bill, though, and he says it just allows staff and faculty to be armed in Tennessee schools if they choose to do so, and if they take 40 hours of intensive training and agree to a psychological evaluation.
Okay, but Senator Heidi Campbell and some parents argue having more guns in schools could escalate situations and also put their children in harm's way. It is causing tensions between parents and some members of the GOP.
I'm done being respectful when my kids' lives aren't valued here, frankly.
Your kids' lives are valued.
No, they are not. You legislated
The
against my
legislation
child
does not show.
specifically.
The Senate bill passed yesterday. The bill was tabled in the House last session and is expected to be brought up in the House next.
More news from the Capitol this morning as Tennessee lawmakers are looking to make the open carry law a little bit more open. We're going to tell you.
Wheel drive.
Or you can get a Camry hybrid with an estimated driving range over 600 miles.
And of course, Camrys assembled right here in the USA.
Now get 4.75 APR financing on a new 24 Camry or lease one for just $309 a month with 2 years no cost maintenance.
Toyota, let's go places.
This Fox 17 This Morning newscast is sponsored by Southeast Financial Credit Union.
8:09 is the time. Some Tennessee lawmakers want you to be able to carry not just handguns, but any gun you want to open carry. Now, some people are uncomfortable with the idea that people could just walk around with guns on their head. Others say it is the right that they have to bear arms, gives them the right to carry any gun they want.
By continuing to make carrying a firearm an offense, we're allowing the narrative of guns are evil to overshadow the protected constitutional rights. Although it has become trivialized, the statement that guns do not kill people, people kill people is true. It is impossible to legislate what is in the heart of an evil person.
These rights are unalienable. You can't even give them when shown in court case after court case that these basic rights are endowed by our Creator. They are provided by our Creator. Y'all are free to leave. We're trying to conduct business.
Chairman
Thank you,
Todd,
Mr.
Chairman Todd, I'm going to ask you all just please be respectful.
I feel like we are putting the worship of the gun ahead of the love of people and lives. What we have lost is, in the Constitution, all the talk about the Second Amendment, is the ability to have the pursuit of life, liberty, and happiness.
Round and round they went. Ultimately, it did pass the committee. The full House will still need to vote up or down on this. They are expected to take that vote up in a few days. This morning's Crisis in the Classroom brings us a different type of debate here. We're talking about the Sumner County School Board as they have now passed a resolution against the governor's school choice plan. Now, there are 3 competing bills out there regarding this. The Sumner County School Board says they are opposed to them. One board member says the majority of the parents that he has talked with are for vouchers, but a majority of the board members believe the vouchers will hurt the school system financially. So far, there's another mid-state school systems that have also expressed their rejection of the governor's school voucher plan and any other school voucher plan out there. If you want to read more about this topic, you can do so on our website at fox17.com. And Crisis in the Classroom is Fox 17 News commitment posing problems in our school systems and finding solutions. If you have a story you think we should be doing, you can send us an email to news@fox17.com, or you can call our tip line 615-266-4149.
And we are in a code red weather alert for later today into tonight. The big weather story, watching for severe weather. Not a guarantee we get it, but flooding is a much elevated risk for us, and there is still a threat for tornadoes. We'll look at that in your...
Visit allstate.com for a quote today. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Code Red Alerts from Fox 17 News, your Code Red weather station.
This is the People's Court.
Today at 2 on Fox 17.
We've been breathing this.
Lots of people don't realize that mold feeds off moisture in their crawl space. But don't worry, we got this.
At AFS, we'll do a home inspection for free.
Good morning. Welcome back to Fox 17 News this morning. As we continue to keep you up breaking news and steer clear traffic, just wanted to let you know that the tow truck has arrived here off Metroplex Drive in Antioch to tow away the car involved in a deadly crash earlier this morning. Interesting here because at first glance, we just saw a car crashed out behind this empty building, but police do have reason to believe, and so do we, that car crashed off I-24 near Harding Place, went through that tree line and then landed behind that building. We know one person has died. We're working to confirm more details, and as we get them, we'll bring them to you live through 9.
Let's check out your steer clear traffic as you get out and about this morning. We're going to get started with something new we just picked up. This is going to be I-24, very close to Thompson Lane as you make that drive in from the south and east side of town. We've got a box truck here that couldn't quite get. Listen, they tried. They really did try. They can't quite get over to the complete shoulder of the road, so they got off the road as much as they could. Looks like they may even have come into contact here with the guardrail, so emergency crews will get here at some point, forcing all that traffic over. Just heads up there on that south and east side. This one's going to get worse before it gets better. Let's show you the drive coming in from I-65 at Morris Lane. This is in the Franklin area, Cool Springs, continuing to merge, but the backup continues to roll back all the way back towards the Cool Springs Galleria, and eventually all the way back towards exit 65, which is Murfreesboro Road there in Franklin. You can take Franklin Pike in order to steer clear. Let's take a look at the drive time. 49 minutes is a little heavy coming in from Williamson County, but that's where we are. 65 minutes is coming in from Rutherford County out there in Murfreesboro. 42 minutes from the north side in Hendersonville.
8:16 your time, taking a look at your code forecast here this morning, and this is the big setup. Everything is starting to really progress here throughout these morning hours in some areas that we have to watch later today that could help dictate our weather. Look down toward Mississippi and Louisiana, where all boxes, all these counties are in a tornado watch. This is the area where the big bullseye is going to be throughout the day, and it already has been so far this morning. You can see flashing boxes down by Baton Rouge. That's showing us that we have severe thunderstorm warnings already in place. We put the severe weather outlook over the map, and it shows you exactly the spots that are seeing the severe weather right now. The hotter the color, the more storms you get, which means that the green area that we're in, the category 1 out of 5, 1 or 2 severe storms can't be ruled out, but overall, generally speaking, we're worried more about flooding and heavy rain later today. Pockets of isolated showers, maybe a downpour or 2 throughout the morning and afternoon. They won't last long, but after 4 p.m., our western counties begin to work into rain. Here's Nashville, stopped at 6 p.m., 6 o'clock, 7, 8, and 9 o'clock. Most of Middle Tennessee seeing heavier rainfall. This is 10 p.m. Cumberland Plateau getting that soaking rain now. Things later on the backside of that initial push. Our severe weather threat is not at 0. Wind, hail, and spin-up tornadoes are all still a possibility. Here's 1 a.m. Things finally begin to die down shortly after that into tomorrow morning, and then we're good to go for the rest of the week. Just a couple isolated light rain showers for your Thursday. What that means is today is the only day we have to worry about until the end of the upcoming weekend. 74 later on this afternoon. Upper 60s for Thursday and Friday. Nighttime temps take a little bit of a dip back into the 40s leading toward the weekend, and then everything finally calms down. We'll put the radar away for a little bit here on Saturday and Sunday with temperatures that will be in the upper 70s to right near 80 degrees.
And Greg, thank you. Right now we're talking about a cosmetic crisis. If you use Botox, the Tennessee Department of Health is warning against using counterfeit products.
You've really got to know about what you get, where you get it, and knowing that ahead of time, because 4 people got sick after getting cosmetic injections.
That's scary. Fox 17 News' Karen Aguilar is joining us to explain, and you're also sharing advice from a doctor. Good morning, Karen.
Good morning, Jen and Erica. When people walk down the street, they want to look good, and sometimes they get enhancements like cosmetic procedures, and that includes Botox. According to the Tennessee Department of Health, that's their building right there to my right, 4 people got sick after getting those counterfeit Botox, leading them to 2 of them to get hospitalized, and 2 of them were seen by healthcare providers. They developed botulism. The symptoms of the illness can include blurred vision, slurred speech, difficulty breathing, and even death. Now, this all happened at undisclosed locations. A Vanderbilt doctor tells Fox 17 News what you could do to try to avoid this.
The usual recommendation, Scott, do it very legitimately. Go to a licensed provider,
in this community and make sure you can ask them if they're using the FDA-approved Botox. If you do that, it should be perfectly safe.
The Tennessee Department of Health asked healthcare providers to report cases of botulism related to cosmetic procedures. Reporting in Nashville, Karen Aguilar, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
Fox 17 News has been documenting crime problems downtown for several months. Assaults, attacks, a roofie problem, and the homeless crisis. But now some folks are questioning downtown safety after Metro Police say country star Morgan Wallen threw a chair off a 6-story rooftop bar. And we do have some more video this morning showing what appears to be an object. We're circling it right here in red, falling from the Chiefs rooftop bar. Police say a chair narrowly missed 2 Metro Police officers. Rob Mortensen with the Broadway Entertainment Association is a spokesperson for some downtown bar owners. Well, we spoke with him and he told us the city wants to send a message that this kind of behavior is going to be tolerated.
We want Nashvillians and our visitors to understand that this behavior that has occurred over the weekend does not represent our city or our bars or our restaurants or the many thousands of people who visit downtown every weekend.
All right, we're getting his perspective. This is not an isolated event. Metro Police tell us that just last week, someone threw a beer bottle off a rooftop bar.
Yeah, and Erica, as you mentioned at the beginning of this story, we have a lot of big problems in downtown Nashville when it comes to crime, right? I mean, you talked about the attacks, the drugs and whatnot. Is it safe to visit downtown Nashville? And we asked, do you feel safe when you're out and about on Lower Broadway? Let's check to see what some of you had to say. This is one of our trending stories, by the way, at fox17.com. Let's see. Robin Sawyer says, a chair is bad enough. I'm just glad it wasn't. We have a comment here that says, start with the drugs and the homeless. And this is what I was talking about just now, right? We've reached out to leaders for months asking for them to comment on other crime in downtown Nashville. And in many cases, we've gotten crickets. But start with the drugs and homeless.
You can pick your numbers, or your numbers can pick you. Cash 3 and Cash 4, only from the Tennessee Lottery.
This Sunday, it's the Electronic Express famous half-price fair. Save up to 50% in every department. The Electronic Express famous half-price fair. It's first come, first served. Starts this Sunday, 10 a.m. at Electronic Express.
We have some breaking news this Wednesday morning regarding your money. Now, you might not be surprised to hear that economists say based on last month's figures, inflation stayed high. The prices being pumped up for everyday essentials like gas, rent, and car insurance. Well, the latest numbers will likely influence the Federal Reserve's decisions as they weigh when and by how much to cut interest rates this year. It's a decision that so many of us are closely monitoring. But keep in mind, federal officials have recently made it clear that they are in no rush to cut their benchmark rate.
8:25 is the time, and happening right now, the Franklin County, Tennessee Sheriff's Office is now looking for at least 2 men that they say robbed a convenience store at gunpoint.
Let's get to it here. They say it happened at the Lakeshore Market on Highway 130 in Winchester Sunday night. We're taking a look at some of the surveillance pictures here that you can see for yourself. Looks like just a frightening scenario. 2 men reportedly hit the clerk with a gun, demanded money from the register.
They were able to get away with $725 from that register. The sheriff's office is asking anyone with information about who these men could be to please contact the Franklin County Sheriff's Office dispatch because they would like to get them in custody.
8:26 and updates to your Code Red weather alert. First of all, how to get alerted. We have got to have all these precautions taken, or at least a combination of more than one going into tonight. 5 o'clock on, we have scattered showers and storms could give us some heavy rainfall, flash flooding, and severe weather. Reliable weather app. We're going to give you the QR code in a moment for the Fox 17 Code Red weather app. Very helpful. Top of the radar will be fantastic. It will give you alerts for your specific county if we have any that you need to hear of. Also, just in general, keep the emergency alerts on your phone turned on. You get alerts that aren't just weather related when you need to know about something. Weather radio, if you've got one, it's old school, but boy, are they reliable. Make sure the batteries are good. Make sure your cell phones are charged. And just stay up to date. We're going to keep you updated all throughout this morning and afternoon leading up to the evening hours if we see any little fluctuations in the forecast. There is the QR code. You can get the free Fox 17 Code Red weather app, or you can just go to one of the app stores. All you got to do is type in Code Red. It'll show up in the Apple Store or Google Play. And then you can also connect. The place I would go to twitter.com, go to our X pages, myself, Chief Meteorologist Katie Morgan. We're going to be going and watching the forecast 24/7 until about this time tomorrow, just to make sure you get real-time weather updates. That is a great resource to go to if social media is the way you want to get some alerts while you're still awake.
Now we're going to be famous for shrimp by frying it to perfection and pairing it with a blend of cocktail sauce and Zax sauce that we call Zax tail sauce, a one-of-a-kind sauce for a one-of-a-kind shrimp. Woo, saucy! Zaxby's.
Saturday at 3:30 on Fox 17.
Watch Crisis in the Classroom, only on Fox 17 News.
You're watching Fox 17 News This Morning, your Code Red station.
Good morning. Now a live look at downtown Nashville, and just a couple showers here and there for now, but we are in a code red weather alert by the end of the day. By tomorrow at this time, more than 3 inches of rain and possible severe weather that I'm timing in your forecast.
I-24 at Thompson Lane is where we continue to focus on steer clear traffic. We'll tell you about this, plus a huge slowdown south of town.
But first, thank you so much for waking up with us here on a Wednesday morning. For Fox 17 News, I'm Erica Glover.
And I'm Jennifer Waddell. Glad to be your live local news source for the next 30 minutes. Let's get started this half hour with our Code Red weather update. We've got Greg joining us here live now to talk about all of the possible threats for today, flooding being the main concern.
Yeah, that it is. That changed overnight to that becoming prominent and everything else kind of dialing back a little. And 8 o'clock's that time every morning where we get our last update before 9 o'clock before we go off the air. I've got new updates. So let's just jump in to what's here and what is new for you this morning. Every type of severe weather is still on the table. However, our tornado threat has gone down even more since yesterday and even since this morning at 2 a.m. Strong to severe weather is possible. Our timing 5 a.m. Timing has not changed for any severe weather. However, the Fed been bouncing around a little bit. We want a little rain early this morning. We want a little rain early afternoon. That will help us out and dial back the atmosphere when it comes to any possible severe weather. Taking a look, high risk though for heavy rainfall for everyone. What do I mean by a high risk for heavy rain? That means that all of us are going to get that soaking rain of 1 to 3 inches. Localized flooding, regular ponding, but also flash flooding in low-lying areas cannot be ruled out overnight. Now, that is not a criteria for severe weather, but it definitely can be very dangerous, especially when it happens at night. Be very careful. If you can stay home until that water dies down, you're going to be in a much better place. Low, though, when it comes to severe storms. Again, all three threats are there when it comes to wind, hail, and tornadoes, but most of our action continues to pivot more in south. That is your newest update right now. We will look at future track and just kind of break everything down for you. And this is a new look at future track as well. This isolated in the morning, not going to be the big deal. This at 2 p.m., also not a big deal. Clap of thunder, okay. No severe weather. This is when everything moves in. That timeline. Broken line of storms moving in through 6 o'clock. That's the Nashville area. Tracking toward the Cumberland Plateau by 10 p.m. And then finally getting out of here just shortly after 1 a.m. leading into tomorrow morning. We'll look at your 7-day forecast and all these different implications for what that flooding could mean for us and tomorrow morning.
Steer clear traffic at 8:33. Here's a quick look at what we are dealing with out behind a business on Metro Drive. This is where authorities are cleaning up after a car was taken away. We believe the car that was towed from that spot right there was involved in a deadly crash from earlier in the morning. Now, again, this area was packed with a police department, with the fire department and investigators earlier in the morning. But again, they've all cleared up. We believe this crash started on I-24 very close to Harding Place in the Antioch area, somehow ended up through the tree line and there in the backyard of that business. By the way, that building is abandoned. So right now, we just have one individual back there just kind of looking for whatever they can find. Who knows what that person's story is, but of course we'll continue to wait on more information from these as they are surely investigating exactly who it is that died in that crash. As for your traffic that's happening right now, let's get to I-24 Thompson Lane. You can see for yourself that box truck that was up against the guardrail a few moments ago. They were able to get there and help straighten it out. I don't know if they'll be able to drive it away or they'll have to wait for a tow truck. Either way it goes, it's something to watch out for as you make your way in from the south and east side of town. Let's get to I-65 at Morris Lane. It's been especially slow here on this particular section of road. Unsure why, haven't seen any reports of a crash, but it's really packed and congested out there as you make your way through Cool Springs. Drive times right now, 45 minutes coming in from Franklin, nearly an hour coming in from Murfreesboro, 42 minutes from the north side in Hendersonville.
Well, also happening today, trucking company Expo, they're going to be opening their first service centers that they bought from the now bankrupt Yellow Trucking Company. We've talked about this in the past.
This was a big story last summer when Yellow announced they were shutting down after 100 years of operations. The company more than $1 billion in debt. So the service center that Erica just mentioned, under new ownership, it's called Expo, and it's opening today in Goodlettsville. It's the first of 28 centers that Expo acquired from Yellow that they'll be opening. This one is on Oak Bluff Lane, and it'll create about 60 new jobs in Goodlettsville, and even more so, help smooth out some of the chain supply operations in the Nashville area.
Talking about real estate and also covering the Capitol this Wednesday morning. State lawmakers are taking steps, they say, to go ahead and reduce, if not prevent, real estate fraud right here in Middle Tennessee.
Some of the stories that are coming out are absolutely wild. I mean, head scratchers. But maybe you've seen ads like this on TV offering to protect you from somebody trying to file a quick claim deed at the Register of Deeds office and stealing your property. What they're really selling is a deed monitoring service.
State lawmakers are now considering a bill they say that would require an official state ID from anyone transferring a deed. It would be another layer of protection for legitimate homeowners.
And sometimes I found out recently that some of the people, they'll even scour the obituaries, see who has passed, see what properties they own, get a fake quitclaim, take it into the Register of Deeds office, and they officially own that property.
Did you hear that? Scouring the obituaries? Oh,
Told
my
you, it was
goodness.
wild. Yeah.
Representative Antonio Parkinson's bill, who you just heard from there, he was speaking. It calls for a study to find out how prevalent this kind of fraud is right here in Middle Tennessee. I can't tell you the most popular scheme and how.
May not know. It's now available with all-wheel drive.
Or you can get a Camry Hybrid with an estimated driving range over 600 miles.
And of course, Camry's assembled right here in the USA.
Now, 0.75 APR financing on a new 24 Camry, or lease one for just $309 a month with 2 years no-cost maintenance.
Toyota, let's go places.
Get Tornado Phone. Download the free Fox 17 Code Red weather app.
Good morning and welcome back to Fox 17 News this morning. Your time is 8:40. And we've got a look right now at your weather story for the day. Yes, we are weather alert. Top few headlines here, though. We're watching for severe weather. The flooding is possible for today and a very, very low threat of severe thunderstorms or tornadoes. We're monitoring all of it, though, for you. We'll get a check with Greg Bobus, our Code Red meteorologist, in just a few minutes.
Well, let's talk about some health news this morning. The Tennessee Department is now investigating cases of botulism-like illnesses following cosmetic injections.
Yeah, obviously a serious illness that can be caused by the toxin that attacks the body's nerves. Now, yes, people get, for example, Botox injections, but there have been several cases of those injections not being up to par on the health level. So let's check in with Fox 17 News reporter Karen Aguilar to tell us more.
Good morning, Justin and Jen. Well, Botox can be used for a number of things, most commonly used for wrinkles, and cosmetic injections can help with that. But according to the Tennessee Department of Health, 4 people weren't lucky when they got counterfeit Botox injections, leading them to get sick. Now, the Tennessee Department of Health officials tell me that they developed botulism, and those symptoms can include blurred vision, slurred speech, difficulty breathing, and in the worst case, death.
The disease botulism certainly is associated with the risk of fatalities. And fortunately, none of these ladies got severe enough illness to get anywhere near that. We're very fortunate.
the Tennessee Department of Health tells Fox 17 News that 2 of them were hospitalized and 2 were seen by health care providers. Dr. Schaffner advises that if you're going to get Botox, to go to an injector who is board certified and make sure that they use FDA approved Botox. Reporting in Nashville, Karen Aguilar, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
All right, flowing and stop putting off that new sunroom edition. Now's the time to have it ready for the spring and summer. So give us a call and put your refund to work for you. We're Kleinert Home Improvement.
Well, something. Move-in ready 2-bedroom, 1-bath condo, 246 White Bridge Pike in West Nashville. Bid now. Online only until Tuesday, April 16th at 11 a.m.
See us on the web at compassmontgomery.com.
Welcome back. 8:44 is the time. We do want to check in because we are in a code red weather alert. So tracking the timeline, help people plan out their day, Greg.
Yeah, most hours of the day are going to be okay. We're talking now through about 5 o'clock, and then everything gets a little more dicey. So trying to get home later. The later we come home, the worse it's going to be. I'm talking about blinding rain to the point to where we're going to have heavy rainfall with limited to no visibility as it's a good hour or two everywhere across the board from west to east. That is our biggest thing here. Strong storms are definitely still possible. All of our severe parameters as far as wind, hail, and tornadoes have gone down since last night, but none of them are at 0. So whenever any of them have a possibility, we have to watch it carefully. However, we are no longer at a slight risk for severe weather. That's the one big change overnight into this morning. And the other one is most of our severe weather now pivoting far closer to the Gulf of Mexico. There are areas that are already seeing significant rainfall and thunderstorms. There are tornado watches down to the Gulf Coast. We do not have any watch or warning, and we won't have any possibility for one until late in the day. Look how much rain we're going to put down, though. This is between now and the end of basically tonight into tomorrow. 1 to 3 inches of rain in 6 hours. Flooding potential here. We're just no guarantees we're going to have flooding, but ponding, oh yeah. We know that culprits, the typical areas, especially in the morning when we don't have the sun up yet, that could be dangerous when it comes to areas of standing water. Here's the timeline for you. This morning into early afternoon, pop-up showers, maybe a quick downpour. That's it. After the 4 o'clock, starting in our western counties, stopping as right as it moves through the middle of Middle Tennessee. I would say 5 o'clock until 8. Everyone from Lebanon out toward Dickson, that is your window of opportunity for the heaviest rainfall. Then it pivots out toward the Cumberland Plateau starting around 8, 9 o'clock all the way through around 1 a.m. When all is said and done, you just saw about 1 to 3 inches of rain. We're going to have one last look at your 7-day forecast when this all finally dies down coming up before 9 o'clock.
Sarah, clear traffic for you this morning. Let's get you to the latest crash. This one's on Briley Parkway near Lebanon Pike as you make that drive in from the Donaldson area. If you were coming from, say, the airport going towards Opryland, you're going to run into this out there on Briley. We were told that it's an overturned vehicle. Got a big disturbance right up here, but it seems like there's something even further down that we just can't see on our cameras right now, but the backup pretty massive. How do you steer clear of this? Oh, there's a problem. You kind of don't. You can try to take Donaldson Pike further to the north and hook up with Lebanon Pike that way. But as I've said all the time about Briley Parkway, there's a reason why they built it. It reaches a lot of places that normal roads just don't go. So please keep that in mind. You're going to take you some extra time to get past it. All right, we've got a tow truck now to get that box truck out of the way here at 24 at Thompson Lane, the south and east side of town. So heads up on that, not causing near the disturbance that this crash is. We'll give you the latest updates we've got live until 9.
All right, Justin, thank you. Just here we are, as we process the story of the missing Missouri student Riley Strain. His body was pulled from the Cumberland River here in Nashville, and the funeral's already happened, but his family is still searching for answers as to exactly what happened the night he disappeared in Nashville.
Well, this Wednesday morning, they believe they have found another significant piece of this puzzle. Joining us to explain is Fox 17 News' Kelly Avellino. You've been following this case from the beginning, Kelly. You've spoken to the family. So what can you now share with us?
Well, Jen and Erica, Riley's family and detectives interviewed a new witness who they believe is now the last person to have seen Riley walking along Gay Street here. And this man says that Riley walked further along that path than where he's believed to have fallen in the river, right in this area. So a lot more questions are being raised right now, and I'm going to take you through the path of where Riley took his last steps. He first left Luke Bryan Bryan's bar down here. He left Luke Bryan's bar and then made his way up. Sorry about that. He left Luke Bryan's bar. And then made his way up 2nd Avenue. He fell near that pole on Church Street and then crossed his way over onto Gay Street. We know surveillance video shows he made his way up Gay Street, had an interaction with an officer about right here between the Woodland Street Bridge and the James Robertson Parkway Bridge. That's also where I interviewed a man who says he was sort of down on the river embankment here and heard Riley fall into a fence or the brush. He says there was another there as well who was closer to Riley that saw that fall, and he yelled down, "He's okay, he's just drunk." Well, I can tell you police and the family have been looking for that other man since we interviewed the guy down below, and as of last night, I'm told they have now found him and spoken to him as well as police. They say this man said that he saw Riley walk beyond the James Robertson Bridge here further down Gay Street. Now, this raises, again, a lot of questions because this is right the spot here under the James Robertson Bridge where Riley is believed to have fallen in the water. So certainly a lot of questions here. The family can
Champion windows, because when you buy two, you get two free.
Hurry, Champion's Buy Two, Get Two free sale is for a limited time.
That's a great deal. Thanks.
Call 888-4CHAMPION or schedule your free in-home estimate online today.
There's never been a more incredible time to join the Oak Grove Players Club than right now. Sign up, play our fantastic games, and if you don't get lucky on your first visit, you'll get up to $250 on the house. Oak Grove Racing, Gaming, and Hotel. All kinds of awesome.
There's a man facing a long list of charges after Metro Police say he got high and began firing a gun inside of his home.
Officers say they showed up to the house on 23rd Avenue North around 4 o'clock yesterday morning. When they got there, police say Burl Brown told officers that somebody came into his bedroom and started shooting at him. Well, police say Brown's roommates told them he had been smoking drugs all day, woke up and started shooting.
He told police that he had smoked meth and heroin and fired 8 to 10 shots. He is now facing, as you can imagine, a number of charges, including 7 counts of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon.
All right, this morning, Fox 17 News continuing to follow Operation Crime and Justice as Metro Police are looking for the man accused of robbing a bank in South Nashville.
Go ahead and stop what you're doing. Take a look at this screen. We're showing you some security photos from the Truist Bank over on Nolensville Pike. Metro Police say this is the man who walked in around 3 o'clock Tuesday afternoon, gave the bank teller a threatening note, and then took off with the cash. Now the FBI joining Metro Police trying to track him down.
And a hot topic of discussion right now, parents who were forced out of the Senate chamber Tuesday as they got a little rowdy. State lawmakers passing a bill to allow teachers and staffers to carry guns in school. Now that has exceptions, right? You have to go through certain training and evaluations, but those parents feel like more guns in schools just increases the danger for their children.
If you want to read more about this story, you can go to our website, fox17.com, and search armed teachers.
Well, it has been more than 6 weeks since Sebastian Rogers was reported missing from his home, and still no sign of that 15-year-old with autism. He vanished, it would seem at least, in the middle of the night as his mom went to wake him up on a Monday morning, February 26th, to send him off to school, and he wasn't in his bed.
And listen, we just want to remind you that at Fox 17 News, we are still looking into getting some answers.
During those monthly cramps, you know those. And it's also great to keep you and stay cozy as it gets colder. I just love to watch TV with this. And it's a great gift because everyone can benefit from it. And right now, we're offering 30% off on the Calming Heat XXL. Head to asadeals.com for this exclusive offer, and it goes fast, so get it.
Sponsored by the Big Nashville's #1 for new country and the home of the Bobby Bones Show.
We are on location at Dreamliner Luxury Coaches, and I've got Rich Thompson, one of the CEOs. Rich, thanks for having us out here. I know you guys are one of the biggest companies in the USA right now handling 50% of, the travel for music artists, because you've expanded, obviously, and you've been here for years.
Our CEO, Jeremy, has kind of been in the business for 10 years and dealt with most of the biggest acts and names out there.
We've got Jeremy Mull, CEO of Dreamliner Luxury Coaches, and you're actually going to show us inside this incredible, home on wheels that Doja Cat and SZA just came out of, right, Jeremy?
Yeah, so this is one of our popular buses. It's a pretty standard layout that we have in a star bus. Doja Cat did finish on this. We've had everybody from The Weeknd to SZA and a lot of other big artists actually that rode on this bus.
Jeremy, you've brought us into another luxury coach here with Dreamliner, and this is a country artist, so this one's a little bit different than the last one we checked out, right?
Yeah, this was designed by one of our female country artists that's on long-term lease, and by the look of it, it's not as modern. It's very homey. I like it. It's beautiful inside.
Rich, now we're in one of the executive coaches that you have here, and I understand Chris Stapleton and maybe a few sports and everything else have actually utilized